So, welcome to another episode of Indisputable Evidence. We are back again, after a long hiatus. We are back with y'all. I'm your co-host, Anthony Beck, aka UNLV Offensive Coordinator Anthony Beck, along with my other co-hosts,
JB43. I am New York Presbyterian Hospital.
Oh my God.
I can't even say nothing bad about that one, man. He ain't wrong at this point.
Hey, I said before we came on here, y'all will love it and y'all will explode when y'all hear it. And here we are. But anyway, it's your boy Marcus back at it again, man. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. We checked. I've been right to the road so I can get on the
screen. Yes, sir. And now, last but certainly not least.
Oh, it's your boy Darnell, man. I can't even. I was gonna do the whole like, have you ever? But this man Marcus just got me death, man. Like he just killed me.
It's what I do.
What I do. He's not wrong when you think about, really think about what Marcus said and put it in perspective. He ain't wrong. That's how bad it was. We'll get into that a little bit later, but you can thank the war criminal for that. Yeah, I know who the war criminal is. But we are glad to be back. It's been too long. We know y'all missed us. We missed y'all too. A lot of conflicting schedules have kind of put us in a little bit of a hiatus, but we are finally back. Got basketball going on right now. The Celtics are currently on a 13-0 run. That run just ended with a basket by Indiana, by Obi Toppin, but we got the Eastern Conference Finals starting tonight. But and also Western Conference Finals gets kicked off tomorrow night. By the way, we're gonna have a new champion
again.
Minnesota Timberwolves have taken out the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets. What's going on, Pops? We glad you're on here. Glad you're on here.
Hey, Pops, man, you back. We back. He back.
Glad to see you here, Pops. Hope you enjoyed what short time here, brother.
Yeah, man, it's been a whole long minute, but we know we couldn't leave y'all disappointed for long. We finally back.
Yeah, finally back, and man, Indiana can't buy a basket right now. They finally get one, but what's been going on? We're gonna do a check-in real quick before we get into this. What's been going on with everybody?
Man, been blessed, how I favorite. Just living life, trying to get things done I got to get done, and that's pretty much it, man. Trying to balance time.
Yeah, because Lord knows time is something we don't have very much as we get older. Man, I've been doing all right. Doing all right, you know. Time, as Jerry said, has been a real finite thing lately, but when we got time together and when we got the opportunity to do this podcast, you know, I am dropping everything and rushing right to this damn laptop and making up all the stupid, entrances and intros in the world I possibly can. So I'm just glad to be here, and doing real, real good these days.
Me, I'm glad I'm back, man. Just finished up finals, it's probably about 4 weeks now. Yeah, 4 weeks, man. Was successful semester, did pretty well for myself, but I'm glad to be back with my boys, man. So rotations have been fucking terrible, but hey, it is what we got to do, man.
Hey, man,
it is what we got to do, man. Yeah,
we got to do whatever.
What's good, man?
Hey, J Money, man, what's happening?
We finally back. We know y'all missed us. We missed y'all too, man. Me personally, I'm just saying, work is terrible. I hate it. I'm sick. I'm just sick of my job. I'm done. At this point, I'm to the point where I walk in. I don't even care what happens. I don't.
He's had this for 3 years, by the way, y'all.
I have not. I've never gotten to this point where basically building catches fire. I just don't care.
You had a commitment letter saying in your draft for 2.5, 3 years, AB. Yes, you have.
Oh, just like Monty McClain had a commitment video sitting for 2 years from high school that finally got released.
It
This
happened.
when you and Kamari McClain is that Kamari McClain actually followed through on it finally.
Prefer walk on.
He still did, didn't he?
He kind of had to. He had no other options.
Still did it.
Oh,
So, AB, are you technically
Hold on, real quick, Darnell. I got bad news for you. The man did turn down a scholarship from Miami to walk on to that Florida.
Hey, man. Anyway.
See, we haven't really been on vacation, but Marcus has. He has been on his burner account.
Well, you know, I'm doing my thing. I don't got a KD type of burner account, but
He does. Yes, he does.
it's not true.
I've seen it. Yes, he does.
Where is it?
This man is unhinged.
Where the burner at? Where the burner at?
It is.
Actually, AB, you are very, very wrong. In fact, it's actually
Now, see, we know y'all missed this content. But yeah,
Marcus is the account behind the Somalian nigga who's always thirsting after white bitches.
hey, man.
oh man,
You know, the other day, I just be back there and
we have not been on vacation though, Jay. Although mine is coming up in a couple of months. NYC, New York City. Gotta smell my cologne.
This is crazy.
That is so funny to me, bro.
This is insane.
What is insane about it?
My cologne is the top I've ever heard, bro.
What they do? They do.
Mm.
They gonna smell. They gonna come up to me and ask where I get my cologne. I just got to tell everybody.
Just say not from your streets.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would say that.
That man
Gatekeeping ass niggas. Damn.
Right? You gonna tell him smell my cologne the Aki way.
Look, all I'm saying is, it is gonna be my first time up there. I'm excited to go. Trying to see if I can get up a Yankee game while I'm there because they will be in town against the Rays. So I might see if I can get a game there. So I will be doing that. That vacation is coming. And by the way, the guy's trip to Vegas has basically been shut down by somebody's girlfriend here because apparently she thinks we're gonna get into some wild shenanigans if we do that.
Where else would you go to Vegas?
Shut that thing down. That was hilarious.
Like with the quickness. So I was like, hold on a minute. Like what exactly are we gonna get into? Like we're just going to take in the sights.
Yeah, just was going to the strip, you know, just to see what they got going on. Maybe hit a slot machine or two. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
hit the Bellagio, you know, the MGM Grand, the Mandalay Bay, everything in between, except a couple of things on the outside that we will not name, and hit some restaurants up. You know,
definitely. But hey, if a big fight is in town, we might try to sneak in through the back door and get in the nosebleed section without getting caught.
Speaking of, I'm so glad
to get beat again. But before we get into all that, y'all, we're gonna get into the show. Before we get into all that, Darnell, you said, well, Jerry basically said 1 minute, but we got 5 minutes to What was the topic you brought up, Darnell?
Everybody knows what's the number one country in the whole fucking song. The whole number one song in the country right now. The beef is practically over.
It's over. It's done.
It's practically over. We ain't got no response. We got Top saying nothing back. We got Drake saying, you know, he had his last song. He said he's practically, you know, done with this beef. He's ready to move on. I just want to hear what y'all thoughts about this overall beef. That's it.
Mine's gonna be short and sweet, real quick.
This man, Aaron Nesmith, played freaking defensive back. Anyway,
it's his homecoming back to Boston.
Nesmith starting on a conference final team is very hilarious for so many reasons.
But he's actually been really good for them, though.
That's the funny thing. He's been good.
Look at this tackle.
Hey, every team needs a guy like Sneesif, man. That's all I can say.
They do. I'm not even trying to be funny. They do. But my thoughts on it are going to be short and sweet. The fans win with great music. My opinion, nobody won with this beat because I felt like it was stupid anyway. Like, come on, man. Like, at this point, like, this has been brewing for how long? Since 2012, really? Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, bro, you still on this, bro? Like, can we move on, please? Now, I will say the music is great. All the music been great. I love all of it. We, like I said, we the fans win. We get great music from elite artists. We win.
Elite artist, singular.
No,
Artiste.
let's not get it's plural. Let's not get it twisted.
Nah. I'm kidding, bro.
One.
I don't know who coughing over here, but
I'm just here to say Kendrick won the beef. That's it. That's it.
That's really all. That's all that needs to be said.
Kendrick won the beef.
Quite honestly.
Exactly, J Money.
That's all it
That's
would have
it?
been, and that's what we would have called it a day.
That's it?
You know what else stayed in Vegas? You know what happened when something stayed in Vegas once for a short black man? His life stayed in Vegas. Tupac died. I don't want to get rolled.
What's wrong with you?
Dude, what is wrong with this nigga, man? Like, why you say that? Like, why you say that, bro? Why did he say that?
Hinge, man.
Hey,
Why would you say that?
Oh, this man is
favorites.
insane,
Adrian Broner.
Ooh. Why you bring up the can man for, bro?
Pops, you got the comment of the night so far.
That was hilarious, man.
The only thing that did not stay in Vegas is Henry Ruggs' career because he's now in jail, in prison.
Okay.
This unhinged man.
Crazy. I thought that was crazy.
Right, unhinged, absolutely unhinged.
Unhinged, uncalled for, everything in the book.
Now.
Hey, all we can say, I think we got what, 2 Kendricks, one middle. All I gotta say is, if Drake fans are on here saying that it's a tie, that all tells you who won the battle. That's it. And Euphoria is one of the best diss tracks of all time. Go back and listen to it. The fact that this man, if you look into the first part, what he says, your superpowers are neutralized, right? He said your superpowers are neutralized. Where did that come from? Kill Bill.
Oh my God.
That's all I gotta say. That's all you gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
That's tough.
That's all I gotta say. If you rewatch that movie and you go back to that specific line, it is referenced throughout the whole entire fucking track. This man Kendrick is a fucking legend, bro. He's been plotting this shit since day fucking one. Day one. Drake, I love you, brother. You just gotta deal with a lot of self-reflection. Maybe some ashwagandha will help you out. Get rid of that.
Strip the ego from the bottom. But I would say it was so many different type of songs that he did. He pretty much beat him at Drake at his own game. He went from the 6 minute, just okay, here we go, to like Meet the Grams, which is like one of the most insane songs I've ever heard in my entire life.
Darkness.
Like it had like Family Matters Drop, which is a really good diss song in its own way. And then not even 20 minutes later, boom, you raise a whole fucking person. Nerve you, Dennis. I'm like, yo, Kendrick, you okay? And it was 6 minutes long. I was like, there's no way.
8, bro.
And then Not Like Us drops the next day. It's a fucking club banger calling this nigga a pedophile over 6 minutes. For 3 minutes or whatever, how long it was. Like, I did not think this was going to take the turn that it did. One, and it got personal as all hell. Two, like Kendrick was the one making the crazy club banger. Like, we remember the whole Drake Meek Mill thing. Go back to back. That song was played for months on end everywhere you went. And now, flip the script several years later. Drake getting called a damn pedophile and getting called everything under the sun is getting played in the club everywhere.
That's getting
Just
played.
sick.
That's getting played everywhere. Eastern Conference Finals update, y'all. End of the third quarter. Boston is up 94-93.
Mm-hmm.
That crazy ass Halliburton shot he hit there in the quarter.
That was amazing.
That was crazy.
That was amazing, bro.
Man, Halliburton watched Monday Night Raw last night and said, "I'm gonna lock in." That's what happened.
That is
Well, hold on, Mark. I'm glad you brought that up. Because speaking of which, on this podcast while we live, you got one job.
Amen.
Get it, Marcus. Get him on here.
To do what?
Well, we can chop it up with him, you know. Like his pats in the NBA, you know, I got in basketball, all that. We can do that.
Sure. But you know, it's gonna be hard work, but I see I can get it done. I'll see if I can do.
Jerry's having a meltdown right now.
Yeah, all right.
Let me tell y'all about this man in the group text. This man was having a meltdown about the referees early in this game. It was 12-0 Boston while he was having this meltdown.
That was funny as hell. Like, bro, it's 12-0.
Hey, Celtics fans not having confidence in their team, even though they're doing well, man. Story old as ages, man.
As the referee, and immediately started having meltdowns.
Tony Brothers is the worst referee of all time. I mean, it's just true.
That would be Scott Foster, who loves y'all.
That's definitely not true, bro.
It's definitely true. Why is it that every time I see this on the timeline, every time I see Celtics fans on the timeline, as soon as Scott Foster's announced as the referee, Celtics fans and Knicks fans do this. They both do this, unless they play. But they both do this. Every time Scott Foster's named the referee, they start cheering on them. I kid you not. They start cheering. But if anybody else, Tony Brothers, Zach Zarba,
AB, I encourage you to do one thing, AB. Log off Twitter.
I've kind of been off and on because it depends. It depends on what happens. So, like for me, lately I've been kind of like off and on. Like if something's trending, okay, I'll go on like, all right, what's trending? Who did what?
That's it, bro.
Okay, Marcus, I got one question. How you feeling about your Jazz against my Eagles? Oh, that could be a good game. That's gonna be a
Sunday night game too.
I figured it would be.
I'll say at a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 7, 6.5. Really, I gotta see how they look the first 8 months of the season because the first month's kind of brutal. So we'll check back then.
First of all, they got to pay Trevor.
They're gonna do that.
Because for some reason, we don't know if he's gonna get paid. Like, what do you mean you don't know? He better get paid.
He is getting paid. The trade contract's pretty much done.
Put that nigga through hell for what, man?
Yeah, like
it's like his third year. He's gonna get paid already. It's not even gonna be a thing. It'll be done before camp, most likely.
The contract he need to get done. That Head and Shoulders contract.
Hey man, I want to get a ring first and all that. Then we'll get the Head and Shoulders. But
everybody want to see him do this.
Maybe we were oddly specific with the way you did that hair flip.
Look, the man's hair is all the way down here.
Now you definitely got that Fabio hair, man.
I mean, sunshine for nothing.
There you go, Tatum. Anyway.
For nothing. They were both cold-blooded killers at the quarterback position, so you know.
I just want him to be a happy, healthy man this season, and not feel like he has to wake up out of the hospital for us to have a chance to win.
But speaking of the Jags, shout out to Eric Armstead for officially becoming a Florida resident. He went to Publix and got a pub sub. He actually got 2. So what he did, he got the chicken and the Philly cheese sub. So Jerry, log off at one.
Bro, what the fuck was that?
What was that? I got tetanus in my ears now.
Boy, are we good now?
We alive? You straight?
Is everybody good?
Oh, tell us. Our ears is ringing.
No, I had 2 things on. I had 2 devices up, and that's what happened.
The sound waves, the frequency.
Yeah, but yeah, he finally became a pub sub. He finally became a Florida resident by getting the pub sub. So he got two. He got the chicken tender sub, of course. That was one that he asked, "What's the sub to get?" He was asking people in the store, "What's the sub you normally get?" They said chicken tender sub. So it was another guy that said the Philly cheesesteak sub. So he got one of each. And with the chicken tender sub, he tossed it in buffalo sauce, got ranch on there too. So he said that he rated that I think an 8.5 out of 10. And the Philly cheesesteak sub was 7 out of 10. He said the chicken tender sub was better, but he did like the Philly cheesesteak sub. But
never trust a man on the beaches that tells you to get the Philly cheesesteak sub. Just don't do it.
Yeah, I've
never heard. I didn't even know that was a thing at Publix. I never even ordered that every day of my life. I don't know anyone that ever has. Just leave the Philly cheesesteaks to places that actually are specializing in Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah, whoever told him that shit set that nigga up, man.
The only thing I'll ever tell people to order from a place that doesn't specialize in making this is fried chicken at a Chinese food joint.
Oh man,
I would definitely recommend that. That's some good fried chicken. There, I will admit that. But I'll say this: finally getting a pub sub, you officially become a Florida resident when you do that. When you first move here to the state.
Now I'm about 8.5, 10 sacks this year, Big Armstead. I believe in you. We're gonna cook this year. We're gonna rock out. I'm a happy man. I think this is a 1-point game is concerning.
Yeah, that is very concerning. Jerry, you ain't gonna have a red off of Friday.
Now it's game one Boston or one or two home games in Boston. They're guaranteed to give you this one of them with the way the playoffs going. I don't know why, but they trick off games for whatever reason.
Also, I think it's interesting how
TJ McConnell. I know Al Horford, 37 years old. I'm sorry, but TJ McConnell just put him in a blender just now.
God.
About time that old ball fucker got cooked, bro.
That's crazy.
He hates Al Horford with a passion.
When Udonis Haslem was your veteran for like 50 years, that is crazy to say.
Hey man, Udonis Haslem in his very last game came in after being cold and got buckets. He came in again.
But we're like 23 minutes in, we ain't talked about the playoffs yet. Let's get to it.
Let's get to that. I mean,
Haslem is more respected as a Gator legend.
Yeah.
There you go, Darnell.
Appreciate that. And it's crazy. It's crazy. 2 of the 3 best players in that 06-07 national championship game between Ford and Ohio State are still in the league. Al Horford for the Celtics, Mike Conley Jr. for the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
They're still in the league.
Veteran glue guys that get everybody in order.
Both guys prioritizing their health as much as they did.
Darnell's favorite point guard.
Yeah, Mike Conley is the true definition of a true vet. Like how
Mike Conley is so important for that team for real. Like he gets everybody in the right position. When he's not playing, that team sucks. I'm sorry, we
saw game 5. They were terrible.
They were horrible. I don't know. So that team, no.
Because like the way I describe it, he is the antidote to their bozo gene.
Yeah, he is. But getting into it, we ain't even really gonna get into the first round when none of them series exciting except for the Cavs and Magic, and nobody really watched that series. So yeah, let's kind of move to the second round.
Shout out to Paolo Banchero though. We gotta give respect to my man.
Yeah, shout out to Paolo. Introduced himself to the NBA playoff world and put on a show for the entire series. Like the man is only gonna get better. Only 21 years old. He's only gonna get better. He's going to add to his game. This Orlando team, they look like they're here to stay, man. I mean, you got him there. Jalen Suggs was a menace defensively for the most part. You add guys like even Jonathan Isaac.
Jonathan Isaac's a great defender.
Yeah, he's a great defender, and I like the way that team is built. Cole Anthony being able to come in off the bench and get buckets the way he does. I like the way this team is built.
Hey, don't forget that German boy. Don't forget that German boy.
Both of them.
Yeah, that series, the way Franz shot was pretty poor, but that's not really indictment on him as a player. He's a good player. He's a building block for this team. Just got to improve the shooting.
Mo and France, both of them, but I would say they're missing a veteran bucket getter.
Klay Thompson?
Point.
Well, you know what? He's good for them, but I mean, there's rumors of Paul out there too. So, I mean, the Sixers and the Magic are both interested in Paul George, so he'd be a good fit for them too.
Yeah, do you want a wing when your entire roster is full of nothing but wings?
See, well, you know what? He's kind of a different kind of wing, because if Paulo's more of a self-creation off of there, but this guy is like a true legitimate perimeter scorer off of there. Paul George doesn't want to get to the rim like that, so he might be a nice addition off of there. The only problem with there is that how would that get in the way of Franz's development? That's for me.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That and it definitely needed like an actual point guard that can probably shoot around 40% from out there.
I'm finna put a comment up, and I love this fit if it would have happened, because I think he would cook.
That'd be nice, actually. My dream one's Malik Monk personally, but I would take Anthony Simons.
Man, that would be cool.
Simons, and think about it. It'd be the second Anthony in Orlando.
Oh God.
It would be.
My dream one is a guy that they faced in the playoffs. Them getting Darius Garland would be an incredible fit off of there. Because I think he's the perfect type of point guard for that type of team.
He is.
Well, I ain't gonna take too much out of what went down today, like this past season with the Cavs and everything, but a guy who didn't really look at the basket too much in Cleveland in his playoffs for whatever reason. Now, the whole ball dominant point guards both being on the same team thing, that's something that's been much valued about with his fit with the Cavs, and he's definitely on the move most likely. Orlando, when he actually has the opportunity to be the number one lead guard, could phase athleticism would be a huge help. He is a good shooter when he chooses to do so I'll take it.
And the most important part is that I think, unlike a guy like Anthony Simons, who does provide the size, but sometimes, on the defensive end is not lacking, he is a legitimate point guard. Like, he is a point guard. And just like as we mentioned with Minnesota and how they have explosive guys like Anthony Edwards, Alexander Walker, Mike Conley is that guy who holds them together. And I think a lot of these younger teams are not focusing on the fact that just because you have size, you can't play the point guard. Just because you have good ball handling skills and you can create your own shot, and you can get a couple assists, doesn't mean you're technically a point guard. A lot of these teams are missing like a true actual table setter. And I think a guy like Darius Garland could provide that for a lot of teams, such as the Magic or maybe even Spurs.
You saw a lot of times in the half court, they just weren't in order at all. And someone that can just keep them, that can get them in the sets, get them into their actions earlier when they get down to half court and upsetting where things are bogged down. Especially when a team is not the greatest shooting team as it is. That is a big help. More than people realize. The whole point guards matter thing, yes, is a thing, and that is 100% true. You see it in Minnesota with Conley, and with whatever Garland goes, you'll see that there too. Because guys need to have some order. Like, take Conley off of Minnesota. We saw what happened in Game 5. They looked terrible. They couldn't get any actions. You had Nickeil Alexander Walker trying to run the point. And Anthony Edwards, as great as he is, he's not a primary ball handler at this stage of his career. So that just kind of took everything out of whack for him, especially when they were just doubling him relentlessly and blitzing him relentlessly. It just didn't look good.
Bro, I just seen an out-of-pocket comment in one of these group chats. I mean, somebody literally just said, I couldn't imagine being black and being a Celtics fan.
That's crazy.
That's really crazy.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
But
it's not 1988 anymore, y'all. Like, why do we be Celtics fans?
Yeah,
but that being said,
yeah. looking at these rounds, Minnesota. Let's actually start with the East.
Okay.
As much as I despise this team. I despise them just as much as I despise Boston. Because as Heat fans, we hate these teams. We hate Boston and we hate the New York Knicks. But I will say this. Even though Tom Thibodeau was a freaking war criminal with the way he runs that team, runs teams into the ground, I will give that Knicks team a lot of credit because they were so down bad injury-wise.
Man, they were. Oh my gosh.
That even became a 7-game series. I mean, you can't take that away from them. You got to give them credit for that. First of all, it was very competitive. And if you want my honest opinion, I feel like Indiana actually outplayed the Knicks the first 2 games in New York. They just had a couple of minutes in each game of lapses where they just played just a little lapse of bad basketball. And that's what lost them the game. They really should have won the first 2 games, if you ask me. But
they lost by 12 games. They lost by 12.
They showed result, but because they had a stretch. I told you, they had a stretch of bad basketball.
Because they're not a good defensive team. That's what they are.
Well, we knew they weren't. They're the worst defensive team in the postseason. But I will say this: Jalen Brunson. It's time to put him in that tier. It's time to put him in that tier of one of the top players in the world now. It's time to do that. If this playoff run, if this season alone wasn't enough for us to do that,
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Jalen Brunson, he was the sole engine of this offense for so long because there was nobody there.
Like people were talking. Remember years ago they were talking about KD and Kyrie possibly going to the Knicks. Jalen Brunson is the exact point guard they needed. The exact point guard they needed. He gets to that team, and they immediately become really good.
I think what's important about Brunson is that like Brunson knows his spots on the floor, and he gets to them because he's strong. He has a low center of gravity, and he's a lefty. Second of all, he's a lefty, bro. So that makes the team special. And then he can get it to guys like Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, and they're able to knock down shots in a timely manner.
Nova Knicks. The Nova Knicks.
Nova Knicks, bro.
Hey,
Nova Knicks.
There's one more that needs to come home.
Hey, they got the assets for it, man. They got the assets. It's only up to them.
Yeah, I'll take Mikal.
Hell yeah. The only person who would hate Nickel going to the Knicks is OG. They're basically twins right there.
I'm gonna be honest about Anunoby. I respect and commend him for even playing in that game 7 or attempting to play in that game 7. Man came in and hit his first 2 shots, but you can just tell like that hamstring.
He was running like he had to take a shit. That's how bad it was.
Oh yeah, they filled that man up with a Toradol and
they went down to the Belmont, the big horse track up in New York, bro. They got all the tranquilizers they can get and pumped them up with it. They got Hart was gonna be at his chest.
And Josh Hart, I don't even know how he played with abdominal strength. First, if you ever, any of y'all ever had an abdominal strain, because I have.
I never had
one.
That sounds painful.
When I tell you it is one of the most painful injuries I've ever had, I mean that. Like it's hard. First of all, it's hard to breathe. It's almost like you bruised or broke a rib. It's hard to breathe because as soon as you breathe, it hurts. Any sudden movement and that pain just I'm telling you, the pain is unbearable. So the fact that he even played, I commend him for that.
Brunson through the foot injury for the last several games.
And then in game 7, he breaks his hand.
Oh, that was
the most cruel way for that season for them to end. It was just
like first of all, you see him swiping the ball like how did he? And then they're like, oh, broken hand. How did he even break his hand?
It's bad enough it's bad enough Indiana shooting like 80,000% from the field in that game 7. But how did why did he have to get hurt?
I mean, they were already down by 18. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, why was he even still in the game?
That kind of was what it was. Like the whole.
But then again, you couldn't play anybody else. I mean, you were so short-handed with injuries, you couldn't really play anybody else.
That's why I can't even do the whole tip statement because it's like, what else could they have done?
Yeah, but Tibbs, I mean, he does run his season to the ground because, like,
Yeah, but look at the injuries they had though. But hold on. But look at the injuries they had though. How many of them can you really realistically blame on Tibbs?
okay, maybe not
Yeah,
many.
some of you can't blame him.
One,
Like,
maybe.
Jalen Brunson, that's a freak accident. Come on, that's a freak.
Julius Randle fell on his damn shoulder and fell out the socket. Like that's just bad luck. OJ Anunoby, who was already injury prone as it was, who didn't play all that many games with them as it was, just stepped on it towards and pulled his hamstring. And then Josh Hart, like he just battled so damn hard because remember, he's and when the team was fully healthy, he's not the starter. So he had to play. And eventually just caught up. Brunson just stepped wrong and his foot was hurt the rest of the way. And then finally he spiked down in the ball and his hand shattered. And who else am I thinking of? Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson got his fucking ankle pulled. It was already a stretch fracture in ankle as it was that he was dealing with all season. He was a ticking time bomb already.
That's not bad.
Bro, Mitchell Robinson had 2 season injuries. Like, it's crazy.
Like that just is what it is, bro. Like there's really nothing you can do about those injuries.
And I feel for Mitchell Robinson. That man is from my hometown. I mean, he's well beloved here. I feel for him, man. Because, like, come on, like, because I mean, I'm not saying he's a world beater. Like, he's a good player for the role he plays. He's really good in the role he plays. Just feel for him, man. Like, if he can just stay healthy, he could have been the difference maker. And this right here is true. But
that's so funny.
Like, he came in, he was cooking. He
was
cooking.
the lead scorer game 6, and then here he balled.
He was good.
He was the second lead
And
scorer.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you search up Alec Burks' name on Twitter, you might see something real interesting.
I don't know if I'm
define interesting.
It's the K agenda.
am I ready to hear about
the K agenda, man. The K agenda. That boy gonna be on Lake Show next year, man.
Hey, man. I like Alec Burks though. And Bogdanovich too. Like he went for a loose ball.
Hurt.
Like a lot of injuries were just like it wasn't even like minute restricting running to the ground stuff. It was just unfortunate, and it happened one by one. Like getting here is a miracle in itself.
Yeah.
But I will say for them to really go far, I think one thing that they really could look to add, or probably should look to add,
A low post.
they should probably look. They should look at getting a stretch 4.
That or
they have a stretch 4.
if you say
Julius Randle? No, actually,
yes.
To Julius Randle's credit, his size and his strength would have actually helped him a lot. Jokes aside,
if there was a series that Julius Randle would be effective in, it would be against the Pacers.
It would have been.
Because he could play bully ball on Siakam and try to get to the rim that way. And Jaylen Brown is down.
Huh?
In his head. But I will say this. If not, I think also, and as much as I hate to say it because it would probably mean that my Pensacola guy is odd man out, you might need to look at a low post scorer.
Which is very funny because ironically they got like 14, 15 out of Hartenstein for some reason. He's
but
a free agent.
He's not like a legitimate low post scorer with like
not at all.
Like you need one of them.
Like him and
do they really though? Because like,
yes,
that's what I'm.
100%.
I don't know. Randall playing center though, like
for that Pacer series, he's 100% correct. He's 100% correct on this one.
It could work. It could have worked there because he could have been able to play.
I don't like Julius Randle playing center, man.
I don't either. But like for that series in particular, considering Indiana's not a great defensive team, it probably could have worked.
Yeah, but him on Miles Turner is not the greatest matchup in the world to me.
I don't know. I feel like, and you know what's crazy? I feel like this part was like understated. The Pacers are doing this with Benedict Mathurin being fucking out for the whole entire season.
Yes.
That's kind of crazy.
I completely forgot.
And he
about
was
that.
huge for them during the play-in tournament run. Or not the in-season tournament run. Yeah.
And Benedict is indeed a two-way player.
Indeed.
Season-ending surgery. There was video of him getting up shots, though. Oh, that is not a foul.
What they call a foul out?
This is not a foul.
But a shout out to Deuce McBride, man. He made himself a name this offseason. This playoff
His
season.
shooting, I liked a lot when they tried to trap Brunson. They always had him be a screener right next to him, so he was always a pass away to get a shot off. Him and DiVincenzo both.
Foul there, yeah, that's a foul there. But
it is.
I will say this. You know who else made themselves a lot of money?
Hartenstein.
Well,
Hartenstein. Oh my God, I love that guy.
DiVincenzo might get a bag thrown his way.
He already got he. If you look at his contract, he already got him. Yeah, they signed. I told you. Remember. Well, this has been a while back, but I think in one of our last podcast episodes, I said that he was the best free agency pickup last offseason. Like in terms of free agency pickups, he was the most impactful and he was the best one out of all of them.
And for the fit that he had, for the team he went to, how he fits the Knicks. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and then if you're looking at it, his contract, I mean, you're getting that kind of guy, like a true legitimate starting guard for 12.5 years, 12.5 mil for about 3 years. Shit,
they don't have a lot of expensive deals outside of Randall on that roster. I mean, they were just kind of the blueprint for this new CBA.
Jerry, you got a question here.
J Money says, Jerry, how you feeling? Solid, I guess. It's interesting seeing how they respond if they can close out this game and make a comeback here. But brother, we've lost in the East Conference Finals. We've made it one time. I think we made it 6 times. So this is kind of on par for what we usually do. I'm just hoping that it's different this year. So I'm pretty chill, honestly.
And the way Boston's played in this playoffs, they always do for one home loss for some reason.
Indiana, why
but
man?
Luckily for y'all, I mean, I'm being honest off of there. I'm looking at this Pacers team, bro. Even with the tonight and putting the previous games, I have no faith in this Pacers team to beat the Celtics in it. Yeah, I don't have any faith like that.
They can make it a game, make it competitive, they can make it a series, but they ain't winning them.
I think Miles Turner is the X factor, and then their home court, they're able to win on their home court very well.
Young teams in playoffs playing at home,
mm-hmm.
especially we're talking about like a Eastern Conference Finals type of shit, bro. Like if the Celtics are who we thought they are, this should be easily a 5-game series, man.
Possibly. We'll see though. I think it's going to go 6 if Boston wins it. I think it'll go 6.
There's a rumor out there. So we all know the EA College Football 25 coming out soon, right? I already pre-ordered my copy. Apparently, y'all, there's a rumor that helmets might be coming off after big hits.
I'm ready.
That rumor is out there. I'm telling you right now, if that happens, you know how much hit sticking I'm gonna do.
All his sticks.
But yeah, looking at this series, I mean, I think Indiana can make it competitive. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say 6-game series. The reason why, because I think there might be a game where I'm not saying they're gonna shoot the way they did Game 7 against the Knicks. That was just historic. They flat out couldn't miss that game. I'm not gonna say they're gonna shoot like that, but I think they'll have a game where it doesn't matter how Boston defends them. They're just gonna hit tough shots. It'll be one of them.
That was why I said though that's one of the games they'll get. The other game is Boston is just gonna trick off at home, which they're doing right now. And about that Game 7 where they shot 76 from the field, that was one of those games where it's like, is this a fluky ass performance? Yes. Is it more in line with what their profile is as a team? Also, yes. Because New York really had no real answer for that 1-5 pick and roll of Halliburton Turner all series. And Siakam just got going, and him having the experience he does, he just could not be stopped early in that game.
Damn, I was
Seven.
gonna have my hot take later in the show, talking about the Western Conference, but dang, Jay Money to beat mine.
I'll be
6
stunned if they
games,
win.
my brother. 6 games.
games.
6 games.
Oh,
6
Tatum had a
games.
look.
I can't say that. All I can say though, Jerry,
Oh my God.
I hate the way the Celtics play in the clutch, man. I hate the way.
Oh, me too. Me too.
They have.
I hate the way you guys play in the
no
clutch,
reason.
bro. It's been. I think we had this conversation here as well. I
Mhm.
just hate the way that they approach. They approach offense, bro. I really do. I really do. I feel like that's always been your downfall for this team. This team is kind of stupid when it comes to that type of approach, bro.
Why is that the shot, Tatum?
They play like a playing team. No, not a playing team. A 2K team, bro. Like,
I'll be honest, I think Jay Money may be right about this here. Because watching this game, I noticed when Indiana pushed the pace, they did have success against Boston. When
Yes.
they
Everybody.
have a lot of success.
I mean, there's a reason they're number one scoring team in the league. They push the pace. That's who they
true.
are.
It's true. But I mean, these are the top 2 most efficient offenses in the playoffs for the season. They were 1 and 2. I think Boston was number 1, Indiana was number 2, efficiency-wise. But them pushing the pace, he's not wrong.
Why is Tatum getting the rebound? His first thought is to do a fucking fadeaway on Turner.
That is actually
You're
hilarious.
down 3, you bozo.
Down 3, he'll take that shot.
Nimhard. See, I can't hate Nimhard because he did play his first 2 years at Florida, but at the same time, it's like, dang.
Remember who he was coached by
I
Florida.
see why
It is what it is.
I wouldn't want to play for Mike White either, but I mean, I see why he left.
Going
But
from Mike White to Mark Few and Rick Carlisle is a blessing, bro.
yeah, definitely. I don't blame him. If we would
no,
have,
I mean, the fact that he was even able to play fucking the first season under Rick Carlisle, that's amazing,
That's
bro.
impressive.
the fact that he got drafted even in the second round, because remember he was projected to go undrafted, and then he went like number 32 overall. I was like, what?
I think the thing about Nimhard is his IQ has always been fairly high.
Yep.
Oh my God. They gotta turn
Oh
over.
my god, bro.
It's such a bozo ass ending.
What kind of
Oh, Siakam. What the freak?
What is this game? One team's young and inexperienced. The other team is experienced, but they're a bunch of bozos in the clutch for some reason.
both of these teams are at this point?
But like
If you-
until the series started, did it ever like really feel like at any point that Boston was even in the playoffs?
This is like the first playoff game we've played.
Oh,
Is that on Brown?
yeah, no. Siakam touched it afterwards.
Oh my God, Indiana!
Brown and Siakam didn't touch it.
Indiana,
But it
y'all
looked
lose this game. Y'all
got-
win.
Siakam shouldn't have touched it last.
Siakam
I
got
don't know what
pushed.
this.
He got pushed. He shouldn't have touched it last, but he got pushed.
Don't worry, we're gonna take a dumb shot. I'll tell you what, if Tatum hits a step back 3 to tie this game, that would be hilarious. This is the one he's been trying to take all year long, so I don't know if it goes in, but
It's like their approach to offense is like full D'Antoni Rockets sometimes for no reason.
it is. It doesn't have to be.
It's like the worst. Like Al Horford took 7 threes at one point.
Granted, some of those are open, but
Still,
So,
you should not be
I mean,
taking
they've
7
been
again.
winning purely off of their talent, not the.
not the coaching.
Sometimes
So-
you realize Joe Mazzulla is the head coach of this team.
Is Jason Tatum gonna do the unthinkable? Oh my god.
All right, let's see this possession. See how it looks. All right,
I'm-
screen Tatum. 2 screens. They couldn't get it off.
Wow.
Woo!
Jaylen Brown. Did he foul
Right in
him?
front of David Ortiz,
Oh my god.
Holy shit! What a shot!
Wahlberg.
All right. Watch this Miles Turner dagger. Y'all about to be watch this.
Hey, Jerry, what we call them daggers, bro?
Shotgun blast to the chest, bro. I fully expect it.
You know, you know it's gonna be if it happens. I'm gonna predict who delivers a shotgun blast to the chest.
I don't know though, bro. Halliburton hits those.
It's not gonna.
Rainbow.
It's
Aaron
not.
Neesmith.
It's not gonna be him either.
Nimbard.
Yep. That's who delivers the shotgun blast to the chest if it happens. I'm telling you.
It'd be very funny if that happens to be the case.
That's who does it.
But
Siakam, what are? Did he foul him?
he did foul him actually.
Oh my God!
Behind the line. It was behind the line. Never mind. I thought it was on the line at first. I thought his foot was on the line at first.
Wait, did they call a foul?
No, they didn't.
I was about to say what?
And
I remember.
Leprechaun thing is crazy.
I don't know. I just expect this to be.
Watch for the inbounder. Watch for the inbounder.
This
Okay,
okay,
that was a foul, man. Come on now.
Ew!
That was a foul, man.
That possession was nasty though. Foul or not?
But yeah. Moving on to the Western Conference. Marcus, the floor is yours.
2 or 3 years ago when we started this podcast, we had this little thing called what's your agenda going forward? And my agenda, my little agenda at that time, I placed some plants in it. I let the seed grow. It was the Minnesota Timberwolves. Picked them to surprise people and go to the playoffs that year. They did. Gave the Grizzlies all they could handle, even though they played some bozo ball at the end of some of those games. But that's okay. Went back to the playoffs next year. Traded for Rudy Gobert. Yeah, Anthony Edwards taking another step forward. You got Naz Reid. You have Jaden McDaniels, who unfortunately broke his hand. But they gave Denver all they could handle. And to a man, a lot of people on our team said that was the toughest series. And now fast forward to this year, my Minnesota Timberwolves went to Denver, Game 7, came back from 20 points down, was down 15 at halftime, the largest comeback in the history of a Game 7. And they're going to the Western Conference Finals. They said Cat didn't play winning basketball. They said Rudy Gobert couldn't play out there and he was going to be a big liability.
Who said Gobert was going to turn into freaking 1996 Jordan, though? And with a
They
face.
said this team didn't play winning basketball. They said they had the bozo gene, which sometimes they do, but that's okay. Big Mike Conley got it. My boy Anthony Edwards got it. Cat got it.
Big Sexy got it.
Chris Finch on one leg got it, coaching them boys up. And shout out Mike Conori too. Tim Connolly came in, putting the pieces together. Naz Reid, 6th man of the year. Nikhil Alexander Walker, a man off the bench. They got Kevin Durant, but we got Jaden McDaniels. We here. I'm not talking. I can't do it.
Bro, Naz Reid is a fucking cheat code. Holy shit, man. He is the biggest cheat code in the NBA, man.
Hey, bro.
Like you already got Twin Towers out there, right? And then you bring him off the bench. He's stretching the floor. He's playing tough defense. He can get to the hole. He can do damn near everything out there. And then the way Gobert play is a rim protector out there. He changes their entire floor.
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy? We had literally like the evolution. Like first we had Montrezl Harrell, right? Then we had Bobby Portis. Now we got fucking Naz Reid. It's crazy, bro. Like the evolution of the 6-man big is crazy.
Yeah, like
that standard of being that 6-man big who could legit do everything on the court. Shit, man. That's gonna be the key.
Like he was a guy that just played harder than everybody else out there. Was a great athlete especially for his size. And then you go up to now Naz Reid. He's the conventional size for a big, but he can play on the outside. He can play on the inside. He can post up. He can cut. He can shoot. He can do it. He can do it all. And the defense, he's tough and he's strong. I mean, he is about as versatile as you can get.
Nas Reed. What the? Somebody got a promotion or something? What the freak?
What?
What are you talking about?
You didn't see the look at the see that?
Bro, that's a bot.
Bots.
This man pulling up bots. I'm crying.
Like, bro, like
Verita Blair, whoever that is.
Anyway.
Yeah, Drake got to get rid of the bots, man. Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
I was dumb when they said chat bots. Like, all right, we good. We straight.
All right, bro. But no, like looking at the construction of the Minnesota and everything, but the way Game 7 was looking, there was a decent. They were getting blown out the water, and then Jamal Murray who wasn't playing very well all series, had a good spurt. Jokic was doing Jokic things. What is it?
He had 35.
All series, I'm saying, fool.
Oh, yeah, all series. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
But
game though in general, I mean Murray had 35, Jokic had 34. They had absolutely no help.
Their highest leading scorer is Michael Porter at 7 points.
I mean, their biggest downfall, even though Murray had 30 plus, their biggest downfall was that man could not have any space in the half court, bro. It was crazy.
But at the same time, like he was shucking up some bad shots too.
Yeah, because he couldn't move off that damn gap, so he had the two-man game was kind of ineffective because of that, or not as effective as it usually is. And then the second half, they stuck Edwards on him. He had 11 points.
And then Aaron Gordon had 4 or 5 points. Had 4 points on 2 for 5 shooting. First of all, I mean, I know he's not like an offensive threat, but you got to get him more than 5 shots too.
So here's the thing that I really did like about the big adjustment that they made with putting Edwards on Jamal Murray. Normally, the top perimeter player on the opposing team gets Jay McDaniels, right? 6'8", long, athletic. But you put Edwards on him, which is around a little bit taller than Murray, but bigger, stronger, much more athletic, all that.
Oh my gosh.
What that usually happens is, with Aaron Gordon's concerned, he's most dangerous where? Dunker spot, cutting baseline, operating off of Jokic's orbit and things like that, and putbacks, just all effort and everything, right?
Right.
Usually how they do this when they try to set screens out there when Murray has the ball, that guy that he normally does have, Gordon, usually ends up being the low man down there. So with Jay McDaniels in that spot at 6'8" and long athletic, he can challenge Gordon at the rim, and he did beautifully on at least one possession where he tried to cut back door and get him a head start. Challenged him at the rim, blocked shot, and then went down the other end. So that neutralized that part of Denver's offense. And in the second half, with Jokic, he played great and everything that's in that first half. He was 2 of 10 from 3. Like, the shot was not there. In the second half, he was gassed. Like, they were out rebounding. They were beating him to the punch. They weren't letting him get to the spots like he normally could. A lot of shots were short. Gobert, I don't know what the hell got into him in that second half, but he was getting everything. Nas Reed was getting everything. Cat played great when abusing mismatches because he would get mismatch on Murray a lot. He would post it up.
That was the best playoff game for Karl Anthony Towns, man.
Yes, and he had some really good playoff games this series and the series before, but this was the most important.
Hey,
and the biggest thing they got also was Jaden McDaniels. If they needed, he scored 23 points. And they needed all 23 because he was shooting pretty poorly for a good chunks of the series. But game 6 and game 7, he really turned it on because they started blitzing Anthony Edwards and just making someone else other than him shoot the ball. So it led to a lot of McDaniels shots in the corner, a lot of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And they took advantage of those enough times to where they slowed their offense down to a crawl and they were able to get into their actions and score at the other end. So McDaniels being able to actually hit the shots that he got was crucial because it was a release valve that they needed because Edwards shot like 6 of 24 game 7.
Mm-hmm.
But his defense was big. He hit some big shots in transition. The 3 at the end of the quarter, the corner 3 to put him up 10. Like the star players, the superstar players in this league, they figure it out even when the shot ain't falling, and he figured it out. So good for him.
Bad foul just now.
It's a terrible foul.
Fouling a 3-point shooter.
That's an awful foul. Like, what are you doing?
And
Why?
when you're able, like, think about it, in a game 7 where your best player is shooting 25% from the field and has under 20 points, and you still were able to win by what was it, 10?
I think 1 by 8, something like that.
8, 10?
98 to 98.
I mean, like, let's be honest, they had like a 10-point lead, like the whole entire, basically, like what, fourth quarter?
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
because it goes back to what I said earlier. Jokic and Murray had no help on their side. Anthony Edwards shot 6 for 24, but the other guys helped out.
Cat played great.
Played great. He
McDaniels played great.
McDaniels
Conley.
folks up. Kindly, yep. He had help on his side. He had help. Anthony Edwards had help. Everybody knew their role. They played their role perfectly. And I just got to be honest, though. I mean, with Denver, they sorely missed, and y'all might laugh, Bruce Brown, not at that one, but Jeff Green, too.
Yup.
Because at least he has a pulse out there.
That, and then on top of that, when you lost them to, your bench was significantly cut.
It wasn't the deepest bench as it was, too. That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm. Hey, nah, but remember what their GM said?
That was kind of crazy. It worked great
about Bruce Brown. He said Peyton Watson was going to be 20,
and then Peyton Watson couldn't shoot, and he couldn't be played out there.
He became unplayable.
And it was the point where he couldn't play. Christian Brown, good effort guy, good athlete, great cutter. He can't shoot. It just wasn't working. They couldn't play any big whatsoever. You're stuck playing DeAndre Jordan when things got tough. Do you want to do that? No.
What, you don't want to see DeAndre Jordan in the postseason?
It's 2024.
Zeke Najee.
Yeah.
They're holding heralded pick.
Julian Strawther?
This nigga ain't done shit.
But nah, man, like and KCP just didn't show up either. Like, he was giving up a lot of size out there, and he just couldn't get it done. He's their only real defensive threat out there on the perimeter, and it just wasn't happening. That's why they had to double so much, because nobody could cover Edwards out there. Gordon wasn't going to do it. KCP is giving up too much size to do it. Who else is going to do it? So they had to do that blitzing, because they took advantage of the fact that he's not the greatest passer in the world yet. He's not a primary ball handler at this stage, so they couldn't really do much with a one-on-one. And the trapping worked a lot until like game 6. But other than that, mission accomplished, got out of his hands, but the guys stepped up when they had to.
I think this playoff, when eventual champs, when we get the eventual champs off of their team, there's going to be multiple things that are going to be starting to be defined. One is going to be that size. Size is absolutely needed if you're going to be able to win. I mean, that's always been a formula, but even now off of there, we're seeing the basically the comeback of the bigs. Like, bigs, you need a big man. And we're talking about not only like these offensive hubs like Karl-Anthony Towns and Kristaps Porzingis, but traditional bigs like Rudy Gobert, Daniel Gafford. Like, those are the necessary pieces that teams need now. So that's going to be very huge. Like, that's really, really good to see that traditional big men are coming back and they can fit onto a team. Because it was looking scary a couple of years in there, man. Like they were looking at the top bigs in the league, and it was DeMarcus Cousins, and the next guy was a 38-year-old Marc Gasol. Like,
with DeMarcus is great if he.
Hey, respect Al Horford though. Respect Al Horford.
He did his thing sometimes, but I will say this about Rudy Gobert real quick. And a lot of people say, "Oh, he defensive player of the year, this defensive player of the year, that, blah blah blah. He can't play out there. He's a liability." What happened in the second half? If he's not out there, they don't win that game. Period. And so, and people talking about taking him out the game, like Charles Barkley at halftime and Draymond Green every chance he could possibly get it every time he's on a podcast. No. There's a reason they don't take him out of the game, because if they don't, their defense gets exponentially worse. And yes, that game 2 they played was great. That is a definition of an anomaly with this team, with this roster, how they play defense. Because what they want to do is for the people that don't understand defense. Yes, they had Cat and they had Naz Reid take the one-on-one assignment of Jokic, because it's simple as this: they're quicker, but at that point of attack on a guy like Jokic, they're stronger. And what's the biggest thing that Jokic likes to do? He likes to pass it, he likes to spread it around, backdoor cuts and lobs to Gordon, or guys, or two-man game with Murray, or KCP come off the curl, off the left elbow. Gobert takes all those things away when he's standing out there as the overhang guy, because they tried it game 1 and down the stretch in late that fourth quarter, where they tried to throw a lob to Gordon and Gobert just swiped it away and then went out and scored. Those things matter. Gobert, like as a hanging guy, taking Jokic out of his spot a little bit and making him go that way, and making it a little bit easier for Cat to guard him one-on-one, and he can take that cutaway a little easier for himself. Those things have a lot of importance and they add up. And then on the glass, take him out of the game. Who's blocking those shots? It ain't Cat. It ain't Naz Reid. It's him. He raises that defense's floor to a supreme level. And on top of that, with those defenses he had in Utah, ain't nobody on this Minnesota roster a traffic call on the perimeter. You got Edwards, you got McDaniels, Alexander Walker, you got Conley, who's a good defender for his position on certain guys. Cat can move his feet, and Cat's a good athlete, even though he does foul a little bit too much for my liking.
Nobody on that team has short wingspan.
Nope, not a single one. Like, I think Tyler's the shortest guy in that starting 5, and after him, it jumps up to the straight jumbo size.
I think his wingspan is like 6'7" too, bro. Like, he has long ass arms.
Yes, like that team is about like the dream you can have as for a defensive basketball team. Like, that's the dream.
Now, it kind of leaves me in the talking about the series with the Western Conference Finals, in which the Dallas Mavericks on the other side took out the number 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder. First of all, gotta give a round of applause to the Oklahoma City Thunder, because let's be honest, nobody expected them. Well, I had them as high as a 4 seed preseason, if y'all remember. So I was already high on this team. I didn't think they'd get the number 1 seed. I did not expect that. I don't think anybody on this planet expecting that. So for them to grab the number 1 seed, as young as they are, they clearly have a bright future. Talent is there. They need a couple more pieces, and I think they're going to add to it. That team's not going anywhere. That team is not going anywhere.
Nah, they're gonna be back.
They'll be back.
Holy hell, man!
Where they're going to be is the question.
Oh my god, that team is scared. If you guys remember, in 20, I believe it was 2011.
Okay.
It was 2011 when the Oklahoma City Thunder lost to the Dallas Mavericks,
Yes.
and their heads were down, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, this team is
They're
arriving!"
gonna be cold. Yes. Yes.
Guys, the best player in these playoffs wasn't Nikola Jokic, wasn't Luka Doncic, wasn't even Anthony Edwards. It was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Wait. We talking about the best. We talking about the best player like this playing, or just in general, like the best player in the NBA.
In general, in the playoffs, he was the best player. Like he consistently was the best player in the playoffs.
He was.
That's the thing about SGA. His consistency was just.
And the thing about he's quiet and smooth with it, but that's what he is. He's a silent assassin, a stone cold killer.
This is the thing this is one thing I'll say that probably sounds insane when you think about it initially, but his consistency in this particular series is something that kind of worked against them the way that they got defended. Because in a series where they just gummed up everything by just clogging the paint and just daring the Lou Dorts of the world, the Giddies of the world, the Isaiah Joes, the the Chets to just go out there, shoot the ball. But Shea Gibbs is a 31-33 game guy. He's going to give you exactly that. But this is a series where they probably need about 43 sometimes. It sounds crazy, but that's just the way the series went. Like Dallas with Derrick Jones Jr., with Daniel Gafford, with PJ Washington shooting the damn lights out, and with Derek Lively off the bench. They just parked themselves right there, and that paint said, "You are not going to get anything inside of here. Shoot the ball." And a team that shot well in the regular season in the playoffs just couldn't.
Mm-hmm. And don't let's not forget, there was pivotal moments in the series where you could clearly see for a team that has a bunch of athletic guys and they take advantage of mismatches, they weren't able to take advantage of one certain mismatch. Whenever Kyrie Irving was able to switch on to Chet Holmgren wasn't in that paint.
Nope.
That boy was he parked his ass to the fucking corner. And I think that's a lesson that this Oklahoma City team, and especially Sam Presti, he's going to be having to look at in this offseason. Because, I mean, practically everybody was saying it. Everybody was saying how this team, they needed at least one guy in there to help out Chet in that front court.
That's true. But they're also going to tell Chet, get your ass in that weight room.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, he can't, at the same time, he can't do it himself.
Well, yeah, because if you're going to attempt to have him play the 5, he's got to bulk up. But even if he's going to just stay with the 4, he's got to bulk up. You have 4 now. Like, look at Naz Reid. Like, he's stocky. Like, he's going to get thrown around like a rag doll. If you
Look at the way they play Gobert and Cat together. Cat's the one taking advantage of those mismatches he's going to get. Took advantage of Murray all series. Took advantage of whoever's out there all series.
Right. And see, it kind of leads me into my point about the West Conference Finals now. This is going to be the Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. We talked about it earlier off air before we got on here. Here's my hot take. Not only will the Minnesota Timberwolves win this series in 5 games, Luka Doncic is struggling in this series.
That is a scorching hot take, brother.
It is. And I'm standing on it. I think he's going to struggle.
Go ahead.
This comment right here. That one man, that first name, is going to be the reason why.
Bro, the amount of times I did victory laps and jumped up and down when they paid him in this offseason, brother, paying off a space. But he's got to shoot. This got to be the same series of last year as this one. He's got to score. Because it's going to be
my brother Mike. I agree with Clint Capella, but I feel like this team is looking for. There's going to be 2 big men on this market that is really going to benefit for them. One, Jared Allen. Oh, well, now 3. One, Jared Allen. And then I think the real trade target that they're going to be looking for and they're going to competing with Memphis is that brother in Brooklyn, Nicholas Claxton. Nicholas Claxton. That's going to be my bold prediction. I believe that he is going to be the biggest. He's going to be that next piece that's going to be helping out one of those teams out of there. Because whatever team that Nicholas Claxton goes to, he's going to be able to help them win and maybe even achieve what the Dallas Mavericks are doing this year too.
I can see it, yeah.
I like Jared Allen quite a bit because offensively he's not like some superstar, but he's capable at times, and he's a great rim runner, and his rim protection is elite. Valanciunas is a guy I really like because of his composition. He's a big, stocky guy who can score down there. He's a good deterrent. Enough to where he can score inside and Chet can score outside and take advantage of some mismatches as long as he continues to grow as a player.
Or there could be a possible reunion.
I like the way you're thinking.
Oklahoma City,
as provided the knee injury is checked out fully.
Yeah,
they said that he's good to go. He's good to go.
Okay.
So
Okay, good.
we will see.
You can get a reunion. Bring him back home where he belongs.
I don't hate a lot of these bigs out there. I don't hate it at all, actually.
Put
They have the money to be able to.
hell, you got a guy that can get rebounds. He's still when healthy, a really good defensive rim protector. And now you got two of them because Chet. I mean, who's shooting over Chet besides Wembanyama?
Yeah, provided he takes steps in the offseason.
Other than Wembanyama, who's shooting over Chet? Let's be real.
Yeah, exactly. So I do want to talk about one thing about Oklahoma City real quick. So we pretty much are in agreement that they'll be in the contention in the West for a long time, right? Like they'll be here. They got the picks, they got the assets, they got youth on their side, they got doable contracts, especially with the way the CBA is. On the flip side, I think they'll be back. I do agree. It's just where exactly? Because again, like Denver, they're gonna have some things to figure out with some contracts here. A player like, say, Michael Porter Jr. might be on the move in like a year or two. KCP's contract's coming up relatively soon. And you'll know what you're going to get out of him with the injuries and everything like that. Then you got Minnesota, again, really expensive team. And Edwards is going to get paid a shit ton pretty soon here too also. Then you got a team like, say, Memphis. If Ja Morant's there, they're going to be very good. Like they are.
Time out. I'm glad you brought them up. He's returning. They developed G.G. Jackson, so you got another scorer right there.
Mm-hmm.
They, even though this draft sucks, they still have a lottery pick.
Still use it.
Even though this draft sucks and it's full of role players, basically, that's not a bad thing for the Memphis Grizzlies.
That's the beautiful thing.
They need
that's
role
a
players.
beautiful. No, the whole league needs role players.
My point.
We got that too.
But see,
we got the Detroit Pistons shitting themselves, and they got like how many top 5 picks?
That's the thing. Because with Memphis in general, like we said, this draft sucks. Everybody says that, but like you said, it's not a bad thing because, like you said, everybody needs to role players, right? This is like the perfect draft for a team like Memphis.
Yeah, and when we say sucks, we mean like as in there's not like transformative guys at the top of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you got the hat.
Oh, it's been on for a minute.
When they say it sucks, it's mainly because it's for those like top teams off of there. There's no clear cut all-star player. Everybody, you got to get it to the dirt. You got to do your research. It's that 2013 type of draft. If you know.
Say there's one player that I think could be an all-star player in this draft.
Did he play for Tennessee?
No.
Okay, good. I was going to say.
Did he play for UConn?
No.
Is he French?
Yes.
Alex Sarr.
Yes. I actually really
Take
like
care.
If I'm Atlanta, if you're gonna rebuild,
somebody gotta be number one.
Why not build around him?
Somebody gotta be number one.
Because I'm gonna be honest, if you actually watch his film and look at his game, he's actually a really good player. He's not a terrible player. He's a really good player. Now he's not Wemby. Like let's be real. Nobody's Wemby. Nobody's coming in doing that. I mean, that 16, we already knew he was going to be generational when he was playing in Africa. So
like, he was named for like 2 years. Yeah, like he was that guy before he even did the draft process.
But Alex Sarr, I think, could develop. He's 7'1". I think he can. He puts some weight on. I think he can develop into a really, really, really solid player. Potentially, I think he can be a proper player.
Solid is about what you're going to get out of this draft. That's kind of
by the way.
You said what?
My only problem with Alex Sarr is that we've seen this type of big in the draft so many times, and not that these type of bigs aren't going to be successful, but you have to take time with them.
You do.
Alas, Jaren Jackson. Sorry, not Jared Jackson.
But
Triple J. Yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr., Evan Mobley.
Yeah,
Jabari Smith Jr. These are really good defensive bigs, but they are extremely raw. And Alex Sarr, especially compared to all those other guys, he's going to be even rawer than them.
And even with Jared Jackson, like he fouls a lot, but the shot blocking is there, and the offense came along a little bit.
Offense has gotten a lot better from when he got to the league to now. It's gotten a whole lot
Now
better.
Mobley is someone that I was kind of worried about there for like 2 years. I'm a little concerned.
I need to see more from him.
If they're gonna keep him and Jared Allen together, he's got to be the guy that ends up being the stretch guy. He has to.
They're not though. I thought I don't know about you guys, but I thought what Evan Mobley showed us this playoff run is that he's the starting center. Like he took that role. He took that role away from them. Even though the Celtics really didn't have anybody down in the middle, but I think he was ready.
And I think
he definitely was ready.
It's going to force Jared Allen, the conversation about Jared Allen, about him getting traded. But you know what? That team in general. It's one big decision there that's going to set the stage for that entire franchise.
Garland or Mitchell, who goes?
Because I'm telling you right now, if Mitchell doesn't commit, I feel like there are rumors that they offered him like 3 or 4 extensions, and he's turned them all down. I feel like, and this is just my opinion, I kind of feel like if he was going to sign an extension with them, wouldn't he have done it already? I mean, because if it's true that they've offered him like 3 extensions and he's turned them all down, wouldn't that be telling?
It's not unheard of, but
Is he? I thought he wasn't going to, because he's waiting to make another All-NBA team, so he's like super max eligible. That boy wants the big boy bag. He wants that 50M type of shit that Jalen Brunson used to be rumored to get. Like he wants that superstar number. He wants that Jaylen Brown money.
Which honestly, given the way he's done in the playoffs and how much of a riser he is, I wouldn't be mad at giving it to him. I really wouldn't.
I mean, he does deserve it. Let's be real.
Yeah. And it's like the team itself right now as constructed is just so damn wonky. They
don't have enough shooters.
They're not enough shooters. The guards are 2 ball-dominant players who need the basketball to function. And they're both smallish. The big situation, that just fucks up all type of spacing because none of them are great offensive players outside like 2 feet.
That's actually not what messed up spacing.
The real things, they have no wing. They can shoot.
Not having a wing that can shoot besides Strus is what messes.
But when they looked the best against Boston, I will say Okoro was hitting shots, right?
Yeah, but he's not doing that consistent basis. That's the problem.
My point exactly. Like at
That's
this
what
point,
in the next series.
you're choosing between Okoro and Strus. I mean, the choice is pretty obvious.
Like one guy, Okoro's athletic and he can defend a little bit, but he can't shoot.
He can shoot, and in this league, look at the Pacers. Look at the Celtics. Look at the way they score. Look at the final score was. You need scoring. You need shooting.
And when your spacing is already awkward with your 2 bigs, then the no wing thing exacerbates all of it.
Now I will ask y'all this round table: if Mitchell decides not to sign an extension, where do y'all think he ends up?
I actually do think he goes to Miami if he doesn't.
You want my actual opinion or my fan opinion?
I want both.
Oh hell,
both. Give him both. Who cares?
Okay. My actual opinion is that I think he resigns. He resigns this offseason, and in 2 seasons he requests a trade.
I can actually see that.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen off of there, because if you pay attention to the way that Mitchell is moving, just like our old boy Damian Lillard, nobody wants to be the bad guy.
Yep.
Nobody wants to be the bad guy, and if anything in this league, people want that guaranteed money, and that's a lot of money he's putting off of the table if he decides not to. Of course, my fan opinion, I want him to go to Miami, but shit, man.
But hold on, he could say I want this time to get traded and sign an extension in, so he can still get his money.
He could,
But he's gonna leave less money on it. That's the main thing. At a certain point you're making a lot of money. And these guys, especially for him like him, he's gonna be making 45 plus. But
Right.
you got to ask yourself, for in his case, is he gonna turn down maybe 5 mil, 8 mil, just so he can be in a destination that he truly wants? Or is he going to maximize his contract to the maximum amount of money, just like what Mr. Harden, Mr. Lillard, Mr. Anthony Davis, or these past superstars have done? And I think it's going to be the latter. I mean, we've seen this story so many times where, like, he's going to sign that contract, ask for moving 2 years from down the line.
Yeah.
The only thing that's fucking the bag up it's Darius Garland. Darius Garland and Clutch, they see the situation. They say, "Hey, you're not gonna waste my guy's career just because you want to play footsies with the Cavs." So
They got a tough decision. They have easily one of the toughest decisions to make in the league, if not the most tough decision.
I don't think they should break up. I think they should hold on to Darius Garland to their fucking life. Don't trade him. And then, because you're rushing the timeline. You don't need to rush the timeline. You really don't.
No, bro, not at all. Like, it's everybody's in so much of a rush to build something. Like, first of all, Donovan Mitchell has not been to the finals yet, right? So he's still gonna ascend to that point. I think he can get there. Darius Garland has to grow. He's younger than what is Darius Garland? He's like 23, 22.
He's young, bro. He's young. What is this? His fourth year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
like,
he
Four.
only played 4 games for Vanderbilt. He tore his ACL.
yep.
And he had the broken jaw this year. That kind of slowed him down.
Yes,
I
he
think
did.
he's around.
He's 23.
Just like, do you remember when everybody was like, "Oh, we got to get rid of Cat. Like, Cat is yada yada yada. Oh, we got to get rid." But nah, you don't do that. You keep the core together.
I never yielded.
Some people want to get rid of Cat, bro.
Yes, you
I mean,
did.
I mean, they got a situation where the money is going to be insanely expensive. It's going to be so expensive for them. They're going to be like the most, like, the highest. Because think about it, they're going to have 3 max players on their fucking team.
And
Bro,
no one
you
wants to
gotta
be
pay
second
Nas.
apron with this PGA also at the same time. So cheap contracts. Keep them coming.
Plus their owner's like one of the scumbags of the league.
That's the only thing I hate about this thing, man. Like, I love Minnesota with all my heart. But Glenn fucking Taylor, bro. Jesus.
Just give the keys down for who gets a couple of days.
I've never seen a team where everybody's value appreciates this much in a season. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, Nas Reed,
That team.
you gotta have a talk about Nas Reed getting all the money he deserves.
I never yielded.
If these guys are
Bro,
going
they have Nas Reed locked up for fucking 3.
That is wow.
They paid Jay McDaniels a bunch of money too this offseason.
oh, he's 24. 24.
Oh, Darius?
Yeah.
Yeah, January 2000. So yeah.
Bro, I don't. That's crazy.
Now, I will say this: some of the glue guys on that team, they're impending free agents.
First of all, you gotta let Karis LeVert go. I'm sorry.
It's over, dog. It's over, dog.
You don't like Michigan legend Karis LeVert, man?
Bro, what somebody said, I think Karis LeVert goes between being flips the switch between being Michael Jordan. And who was the other guy they said? It was hilarious. I forgot who it was, bro.
Harold Miner.
But
I
yeah,
was like, with Donovan Mitchell, if he gets traded, I think it would be. I would hope. I think it would be Miami if it happens because the report did come out saying that. First of all, and I kind of figured this. That there's no way in the world he would trade to the Lakers. That man, that man hates LeBron, and LeBron hates him. Like, there's no way. Like, that's just not happening.
that is hilarious.
But the report came out saying they would ask for a time.
Okay.
If
AB.
that's the trade and a couple first round picks, Darnell, what did Dan Marino say in that video? What did he say in that video?
Well, what's up? What's up, man? What's up?
If it's true that they would take those, they would ask for Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez Jr. and probably multiple future first round picks.
Oh! I'm driving Tyler here to the airport myself. VIP
Exactly.
service. VIP services.
Yeah,
What you
this
say,
is
Chuck? You drove to the airport? Chuck?
How man? I'm gonna feel sorry for. We gonna have some dinner. We gonna have a nice dinner. You know.
right.
We gonna
Hey,
enjoy
where
some
we
steak.
taking them? Where
This
we
is what's
taking them?
going to happen, y'all. This is what's going to happen. Darnell's going to drive. He's going to take Tyler Hero to the airport, taking him dinner first, then take him to the airport. I'm going to have dinner with Jaime Jaquez Jr. First, and then take him to the airport.
Hey,
Backpack.
man. Hey, man, if I was Hefe Norm, I'm taking Tyler Hero to eat at Burger King at FLL.
Burger King is.
That's messed up.
Yeah. Give him that little crown that he you know. Since he wants to throw him so bad.
That's
Make him
the
feel
other
special.
thing, y'all. That's the other thing, y'all. His house is now up for sale.
So are y'all done with Tyler Hero? I'm just curious.
Like, looking at that man's house for sale is kind of crazy if you think about it, fan wise.
His house is up.
I
for sale.
think
He bought it for $10.5 million. Now it's up for sale for like $13 million.
Right.
my opinion with Tyler Hero is that, well, one, I think he got fucked because of the whole CBA thing. So you're gonna see a couple of those guys, like you're gonna see him. I mean, obviously Jordan Poole. Fucking how much ever money, RJ Barrett, like D'Angelo Russell when he signs his new contract. Shit, there's gonna be a couple of those guys that are on those margins where it's like you sign absolutely dog shit contracts, and now with these like new CBA rules, teams are not going to be willing to go over that first apron. So Hero, I mean he's best as a six man. That's all I can say.
I
You
agree.
got the award for a reason.
Yeah, this team is at its best when he's a six man. If you don't want to be a six man, you got to go, brother. You got to go.
He could, bro.
And the main reason why he's a six man is the defense, bro. No matter how much he tries, no matter how much he can improve on, he cannot be. He can't be he can't be like a good enough defender to justify him being a primary. He's not as good as a defender as the average shooting guard in the league, and he's not a good enough offensive player to justify him being out there. Simple.
Right. Because I'll get Tyler credit. He does right. He does. His defense did improve a little bit. It did a little bit this year, but it's still nowhere near where it needs to be.
Nah, he's a liability on defense, bro.
It's just not going to be there, man. I get it. He tried, but his offense is very suited in a bench role.
And what's
A team has to waste 12. A team has to waste 12% of their cap on Tyler Hero, and then you already have defensive liabilities to start off with. It leaves your team vulnerable, and that's the main issue.
And you don't want to get close to second apron here either.
Oh no, not this time. Nope.
And what's even crazier is like the fact that he's such a below average defender on a team that prides themselves on defense.
Yeah.
Like it's just
your offense is good enough to like.
Here's the thing.
I mean, the reason why that's is because he's a solid scorer. Like he's a solid scorer. He's not elite. He's not great.
He's 20 though.
He's just a good scorer. And in the NBA, like how many 20-point guys do we have? I mean, we have fucking Malik Monk, who's like the second reigning, like the second voting sixth man of the year, and he's gonna get 24 mil. And then you're gonna tell me straight in my face, you're gonna tell me in my straight, Tyler Hero in today's market is supposed to be 12 mil more than Malik Monk?
That's nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
22 more than Dante DiVincenzo?
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, I just can't.
I
can't.
can't do it. Because the thing is, Malik Monk has actually accepted his role, saying, "Hey, I'm the sixth man. I'm going to score. I'll start some games because got to be out, but I'm going to be that scorer off the bench, be that sixth man, and play my role like this, and I can get $26 million."
Yeah.
He accepted his role. Tyler Hero's having trouble doing that. And the thing is, there's a reason why a lot of us were saying start Duncan with Terry over Hero. Duncan Robinson's not a great defender, but he's good enough to be out there.
And he has length.
And on top of that, you can see with him, his defense has vastly improved over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He's
not
6'8".
Yeah, because he actually tries and he has the length, but the fact that he can shoot the ball, that only helps. You need that next to Terry.
You need that next to Jimmy and Bam.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you can't keep waiting. In my opinion, you can't keep waiting to make this move. You gotta find someone who can play both ways to go along with Jimmy, because Jimmy's 34, 35.
He's going to be 35 in September.
Yeah, speaking of Jimmy Butler, if they somehow don't get anyone,
He's
this is
cooked.
like 2 years left.
He's cooked. Jimmy
Bam
Butler
too,
is
like-
cooked. This is my favorite player, and I'm telling you right now, he's looking like Paul Pierce on the Wizards.
Oh no, I ain't going that far.
That's wild.
No, legit. Can he beat his man off of the dribble? No.
Well, his offense
He
as
can't.
is already designed to just get to the hole and just
Bro.
fight hard. But when you're like 36, those bumps and bruises that he's accumulated over the years and
Bro, this man's
a couple times in
knees,
the regular season, they catch up eventually.
They catch up to you.
his knees are like, it's just bad, bro.
And quite frankly, Pat Riley, when it's time to pull the plug, he's yanking that shit out the socket.
Pat Riley began his press conference last season, in the beginning of that offseason. They asked him, what's the window of this team? What's the future of this team? He said every core has at least a 4 to 5 window period. We're in that period. We just saw Jimmy Butler get injured and already a down season.
And their first
And
time
this
was
is
4
not
years
any-
ago.
This was bad, man. Like I'm telling you, when I said that Paul Pierce on the Wizards, that's
Yeah.
literally him. He can't name how does he like to score? In the post, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Off of fakes, off of pump fakes, off of pivot twist. Can he beat his man off the dribble of the perimeter? No. Does he have the effective ball handling to utilize the pick and roll? No.
Is he a good enough shooter to offset it? Not really.
No. He's Paul Pierce on the Wizards. It's showing himself, like, and you go by the age. Name a guy who's 34 years old who was a non-superstar player, as in the KDs, the Kobe's,
Mm,
the LeBrons,
dang.
who was able to hold himself as an all-star caliber player. None of those guys are there.
Shoot, we even seen
Shit.
James Harden's downfall. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They don't
Exactly.
exactly take care of himself. That's the other part.
That's why
Remember, Joe Johnson went from an All-NBA performer on one season,
Yep.
and he literally, like, the next season he was a role player.
that's facts.
It's happening. It's happening.
I just,
He could do the whole like regular season. Y'all see me in playoffs thing all you want, bro. You're 35. At 36, those games you're missing, they gonna add up, brother.
yeah, it's spooky, man, because like some guys just find ways to keep themselves fit, but I feel like Jimmy's one of those guys that he might overwork himself at times.
Jimmy keeps his way fit out of spite. That's his way of keeping fit.
Yeah, like it's super weird, and his knees are they're compromised. I mean, it's just the truth of the matter. He's been having knee issues in the playoffs for years.
Yeah, it's like am I gonna say like, oh, Jimmy's done for? No, not yet. I think he has at least a year of like top level production when he has a chance to rise in the playoffs. But after that, the conversation got to start.
Okay, so do you think Jimmy would take a pay cut to get another superstar so he can be the third option?
No.
I mean, no. He's
You
not
want to
doing
know why, Jerry?
I'm
Because
curious.
he's not those top guys. He's not one of those top guys. So
But
he's not taking that pay cut. He wants to squeeze every single cent that he can. He will work with the team if a guy needs to come in, but in general, he's not going to take a massive like 12 mil
yeah,
like that type of nah.
but
Yeah, that's not bad.
he has reportedly said he wants to kind of take a step back in the regular season. Scoring wise,
I mean, obvious.
well, he should. I mean, because like you say, he's going to be 35. That's why this team needs to find a way to. If he says that he's not going to resign with Cleveland, find a way to go all in and get Donovan Mitchell. Get him on this roster. That way, you have a legitimate scorer, a 3-level scorer. That you're missing at the guard position. That's what you're missing right now. Another 3-level scorer that can run the pick and roll with Bam, take the pressure off Jimmy, and on top of that, we've seen what he can do in the postseason.
Like they've been it for years, an actual 3-level scorer. Even on a team that in 2022 that was number 1 seed, they missed a guy that really could get it at all levels of the court.
Exactly.
I mean, this roster, they need a whole entire reinvigoration of the offense, and that only can occur if you acknowledge that Jimmy Butler can no longer be your primary scoring option. You need to have somebody else run that reign. I mean, you can't live in 2024 on Jimmy isolations as your only sole version of getting to the paint.
And even then, like I was always a guy that generally believed and generally had the opinion of Jimmy Butler on like a real deal, like team that has a real shot at winning the title. He's probably best as your third guy. He's to be the best third guy in all of basketball, but nonetheless, he's your third guy. Even on that 2022 team, I always believed that if they were going to win it, they needed somebody else. But even now more than ever, especially with Bam's game starting to evolve, it's his team in 2 years. Like, it's going to be Idris Bam Adebayo's Miami Heat team. And
it's already his team.
It pretty much is now because the defense in all type of ways is there, always has been. The shooting is starting to slowly but surely tick up, taking different shots. He's being more aggressive with his shots, which has always been the thing about him. You can do this. You just have to be aggressive and have the mindset. But now it's starting to click with him. So that process might get fast-tracked. We'll see what happens this season. We'll see what they do in the offseason. We'll see how they try to reconfigure the roster a little bit to get some more athleticism on it. Or if they do manage to go big game hunting and land someone. And Bam's jump if he takes another one, which I believe full-heartedly that he will. We'll see what happens if that process gets fast-tracked.
Hey, all I'm going to say is if Miami's not able to get it done this offseason, don't be surprised if this is one of those teams where you're looking at it and you're like, they have a similar situation as the Brooklyn Nets a couple years ago, where it's like, damn, nigga, like, how the fuck did you get this low? And then you're going to look at it and it's like, well, you traded this guy only for one second round pick, and then all of a sudden, you're just a mid-team with one all-star you can barely even get 40 wins.
And the Eastern Conference, you can't afford to lose. Like, you can make a way in this conference, but it only takes one move to go up or down. And it takes one move to stay up. But like, there's one little, loose thread that we got tied that never really got to here. AB's hot take on the Western Conference Finals. Timberwolves at 5. Now, I full-heartedly believe Minnesota wins that series, right? I do. But I think that's legitimately, it's going to be a toss-up. I really do. But where do you see where Dallas can go?
That swarming defense is going to be a problem for the Dallas Mavericks. If you watch these guys play, when they are engaged and locked in, they are all over the place. They're switching. They're getting out to the perimeter, contesting threes. They're running guys off the three-point line. And don't even get me started with trying to get to the rim with them Twin Towers right there. Don't even get me started with that. And at the wing with a guy like Jaden McDaniels, who is their best perimeter defender, the team defense I've seen from this Minnesota Timberwolves team is something that we have not seen in years. Now, I would never be disrespectful and say that they look like the 2004 Pistons, because I ain't never seen defense play like that in my life. That year was that was the Pistons somehow have the league's best defense in NBA history. They just do. But this Minnesota team has elements of that defense. If you watch them play, it's like you can never get comfortable playing against them. You can't get comfortable at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was the first time you seen Jokic like basically over his shoulder, like a little confused, like what am I gonna do here? He still got his, but like he had to work for it. Jamal Murray somewhat got his, but again had to work for it. He never got comfortable. I'm telling you, man, like that defense is something serious, and I think that's where they win.
See, their defense is something serious, and we can all agree on that. But so is Dallas's. Dallas played
a lot better defense. They have played a lot. I'll give them that.
And that's why I think it's like Minnesota should win this series. It's just such a unique matchup in that they are very much built to beat a team like Denver. They are. Dallas is a lot of ways is kind of the inverse of that, in that it's a tricky matchup in that the whole Gobert out the paint thing is a little overblown. And Dallas doesn't have a lot of guys that can like shoot it all that well, but they have plenty of guys that will take those shots. So if they get a good series out of someone like Derrick Jones Jr., that could be an issue. PJ Washington continues the streak he's been on. That could be a problem for him. And with the Luka thing, his size and his ability to distribute and willingness to distribute, that could be something that gives them a real fighting chance. And with Jaden McDaniels, that is their best perimeter defender, right? But for this particular matchup, I'm not sure that's the right one.
Wait, Luka and Jaden McDaniels?
I'm not sure that's the right matchup for this particular series.
So who would you go for?
Like, who would you put?
See, that's my thing. This is where Luka's size comes to play. Because Jaden McDaniels is long. He's athletic. But he's going up against Luka, who's bigger and can straight bowling ball people. So that could be a problem. So he can probably get to the post and initiate offense that way. Not even just a score, not even like the turnaround favors and stuff that Luka likes to do. It's just the ability to initiate offense in the half court in that little spot, in that little hub here. Like left elbow, right elbow, foul line, things like that. And then Kyrie, if he's able to do it, when we see him be able to do it, he can sometimes just say, fuck it, I'm just going to score anyway. And his willingness to be a good defender and willingness to distribute, like we saw at OKC, that could be a thing. And also, what killed Oklahoma City was, again, they gummed up that paint entirely and basically told Jalen Williams to create and actually do something. They told Isaiah Joe, go ahead and shoot all you want. They told Lou Dort, the floor is yours. They told Josh Giddey, who wouldn't shoot the low as it was, to the point where he got run off the floor late in the series. Now, I'm saying it's going to happen in Minnesota. And not far from it. But it's going to be a series where ultimately, Edwards is going to show up. Luka and Kyrie are going to show up. Cat's probably going to do his thing and take advantage of his mismatch. But is Nickeil Alexander-Walker going to hit enough shots coming off?
Fourth, fifth, and sixth guys.
Is Jaden McDaniels going to continue the role he was on from like Game 6 and 7 and be able to hit enough shots? Because that's what was kind of an issue early on in the series. He was averaging like 5 a game, in spite of the great defense he was playing.
Darnell's guy that's an X factor.
I would say Mike Conley.
Mike Conley Jr. I think he's going to be the one that hits a lot of shots this series. He's going to have some more.
You need Mike Conley Jr. to really put that pressure on Kyrie Irving, because in this matchup off of there, because I think if there's one thing that's guaranteed, if Luka is healthy, the Mavs, the Timberwolves will have trouble containing him. Like even so, that's just something that's just inevitable. But really, you need to stop Kyrie. Like you absolutely have to make Kyrie work for it.
That's
off of
why I
that.
think Anthony Edwards is going to be the one that guards him. He pretty much said it after Game 7. Yeah, that's my matchup. I'm guarding Kyrie. He wants that matchup, and I love that. I love that about him. He wants that matchup, and I think he's gonna I think he's gonna be the one guarding.
Yeah. And I think
Must
what
see.
gives Kyrie the most issues typically is length and size defending him. So it's going to be tough for Minnesota. I think being disciplined is going to be the biggest thing because, of course, they were disciplined enough against Jokic, but guarding a guy like Luka on the perimeter, you can easily end up with 3 to 4 fouls by the time in the third quarter. And if you have Jaden McDaniels guarding him and he's up to 4 fouls, it gets weird. And then you have another guy like PJ, hitting shots, knocking them down, being physical as well, which I don't really feel like Denver had that. Like MPJ was, I don't know what he was doing in the series.
He was MIA.
He was MIA, and he wasn't defending that well either. So I think PJ can do a pretty good job of that. What MPJ did not do.
And that's where Karl Anthony Towns has to come in and really put that effort in, man. Because
those switches, though, those cross matches.
Dropping those lobs are going to be important. It's just a unique matchup for Minnesota in a lot of ways where they can win the series. Absolutely. I think they do. But it's going to be a struggle in some games.
Jerry Money said, Jerry, I got a question. What you learned about game 1 and what you think? What I learned about game 1 is that any other year, the Celtics lose that game. Any other year, they lose that game. Simple. We've seen it numerous times. What I learned is Boston's resilient, and we have guys that fight through adversity. More so than what people think. That's pretty much it. I also think that we can improve on stagnance at times in the clutch, making sure that we get the ball from side to side and stop running the same action at the high left elbow with Derek White. That's not productive a lot because you have Rick Carlisle who's peeping that out and getting these guys to pretty much getting Obi Toppin to play up to read that lane whenever we try to get it back to Derek White or Jrue Holiday. So we got to make sure we get the ball in the middle and try to work from there. Jason Tatum has to get to the middle of the floor and attack the rim and stop taking stupid shots. Even he took like
Jerry, I'm glad you said that, bro. Attack the rim, Boston. It's okay. You can go in the rim. The paint, that green spot on the court at TD Garden is okay to go into and score.
Thank God for Jrue Holiday. I will say that because he's absolutely doing it.
He picked a great time to have that random Jrue Holiday good offensive game in the playoffs.
Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard had a great game.
He did.
Joe Mazzulla, you need to get out of your head with these substitutions, bro. If Peyton Pritchard is cooking, leave that man in there. That's how we had a freaking 10-point lead. You take them out, you take JT out, they go on a 14-2 run. Sometimes the substitutions kill me. You kind of got to go with what's working and have a feel for where the game is and what you need in the court sometimes. So that's my take from that. Don't sleep on Indiana. Indiana's a tremendous team. Miles Turner. This is take I was about to bring up. Are you ready for a hot take?
Bring it on.
I don't think Miles Turner's that far from Bam Adebayo.
That's a little crazy. I can't lie. He doesn't do a lot of things that Bam Adebayo does on defense. He's a great shot blocker, but he doesn't do all the other stuff.
Hold up.
No.
Repeat what you said. Hold up.
1 through 5.
I don't think Miles Turner at his best is far away from Bam Adebayo at his best.
My brother.
That's fine. Hold on.
I'll take a note of that.
Darnell, I'm finna kill this right now.
There's a reason he's been traded off for 7 years.
Miles Turner at his best. Bam Adebayo at his best. Who the hell we really taking?
Depends what you're looking for.
Both of them at their best.
Yeah.
This is not close, Jerry. This is not close. This is not as close as you think.
Like Miles Turner at his best, he's a top 3 or 4 shot blocker in the game and a great stretch 5. Bam Adebayo at his best, he can score well. He's shooting and is aggressive. His defense at the rim is good enough, but the way he can run offense to him at the hub as a hub and at the foul line and everything like that, dribble handoffs, things of that nature.
5.
Like those type of things are things that Miles Turner is not doing at his best.
He can defend 1 through 5.
Miles Turner is not defending point guards, bro.
No, I not defend point guards, but I also seen what Derek White did to your team. Bam Adebayo defended him. Everybody defended him. It don't matter.
Because Derek White's a great 6-man candidate. Like, that's what it is.
Let me cook.
Miles Turner is guards at the perimeter. He's not
Okay,
doing that.
this is my thing. This is the first. Who did Miles Turner have as a coach before? He had Nate McMillan before Carlisle.
It was. Wait, yeah, it was Nate McMillan. It was.
I don't think Nate McMillan did him much justice, if we're being honest. I mean, Miles has been like a borderline all-star for like several years. And to be honest, it's hard to be. You have to be like a superstar to get that recognition in Indiana. Miami, Bam Adebayo's everything. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Bam, but I feel like Miles Turner being a stretch. If Bam consistently shoots the way he did in the latter part of the season, then I won't say anything about it anymore. But I love the idea of a stretch man that can also drive. Huh?
There's a reason why you saw it late in the season. They pretty much told this man shoot the ball from 3.
We've been preaching this for several years now.
Who started it?
Probably. I know I thought he should shoot it several years ago because he shot it at Kentucky all right a few times.
He never shot threes really at Kentucky.
He shot like
Late the shot clock probably.
He was in the paint, like he was rim protected.
I'm pretty sure I
rim
saw
running, dunks, all that stuff.
But he was on the same. I think he was on the same team with who was
Fox.
Well, yeah, with Fox and Monk. He didn't shoot threes like that.
I could have
What do
sworn
you mean in college?
1 or 2.
Yeah.
College, I don't think he shot that many threes. If
He didn't. He didn't shoot any threes.
yeah,
That was actually the mainstay of it. Like when he was in high school and everything like that, they didn't want him to shoot any threes.
But he
They
did
wanted him to focus. Yeah, they wanted him to focus on getting to the rim.
Yeah, but he did develop that free throw line jumper though.
Or maybe it was a free throw line jumper that he was hitting pretty consistently in college.
That's what it was. That's
Okay.
what it was.
But the form was like darn nice. So I'm like, he can stretch that easily if he gets an NBA and practices it, So even like Al Horford, Al Horford wasn't shooting threes in college, but you could tell he could be a good shooter. He could stretch it if he worked on it.
Yeah, he worked. He got to the pros. He worked on it, added it to his game, helped him become a 4 or 5 time All-Star.
Yep.
Okay, so
So
now looking at it, so what are our predictions for your series? Like Boston, we gotta get one out the way. So what did y'all have that series going in?
Boston?
Just as an experiment. Yeah.
Boston in 6.
yeah, that's what I had. Boston 6.
Boston and
I
5.
I think I had 5, but like there was an easy chance they could have bozoed their way out of giving them an extra game.
I'm surprised he won tonight. I ain't gonna lie. I did not think we were
They're
in the game.
just so irritating to watch as a team sometimes. It's like y'all should be a championship team, hands down, no questions asked, and they kind of are. But they do just enough where it's like, are we sure?
Yeah. Also, I think with no Porzingis right now, this is good. This is good for them to develop some type of feel for how they need to score crunch time with, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
You niggas don't have a point guard, bro. That's your main issue.
Who, Boston?
Yeah, you guys don't have point guard.
Point guard.
Like a legitimate playmate. Like Drew Holiday. We've seen Drew Holiday do some knuckleheaded shit even during his championship run.
Oh, bro, we
And
got a
Derek
point.
White is not really a point guard. He's a combo guard off of there.
It's so
Oh
strange.
god.
It's so strange they don't really have a true
We
order. In order.
Like who's gonna be that man who says, "Hey, fuck all that shit. Like
We got-
let's run some actual shit to get Jason Tatum a nice shot, rather than him taking a fucking step back three, even though it worked out for tonight." But
And their offense evolves into side step three, step back three, pick and pass with Horford constantly. Like they go full 2018 Rockets sometimes, and they're not quite as good shooting as that Rockets team was to pull it off all the time in some of these crunch time games. But when they're on, they're on. I'll give them that, like 100%. But they just do too many dumb things for my liking.
point guard-
With my hero.
the point guard is on the bench.
anyway, shout out to Andrew Nimhard, man.
Hey man, shout out Embiid. Him being on an actual rotation in the NBA and actually starting on a conference final team is something I never thought I'd see.
Hey man, salute to him. But yeah, I got Celtics in 6 in this one.
All right, now to Dallas and Minnesota. What we got there?
Y'all already know mine.
I got Dallas in 7.
Oh wow.
That sounds surprising. I give them a real chance to win this series. I do.
I think, in my personal opinion, I think Dallas is the NBA champs. If everything is handled well with Luka's knee, I think he's an NBA champ right now this year.
Darnell, I'm gonna say this real quick. If that happens, there's one person on this podcast that will disappear for a little while.
Maybe all right.
I never.
The chance that would be Kyrie Irving beating the Celtics in the finals
He's so funny.
would absolutely demoralize Jerry.
I never duck smoke.
You will be depressed and demoralized if you see that.
No, I was nothing beats last year. Trust me, nothing beats last year. Nothing will beat last year. That level of depression. Going down 3-0.
That would
basically went
go
out
full
3-0.
circle right there. Because remember how it was in 20. What year was that?
2022.
2019 was it? Where you guys said that you were better without Kyrie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys said you were better without Kyrie. So that would go real full circle back in there.
You know the reason why Boston didn't make the conference finals 7 times out of 8 years because
Why?
Kyrie Irving in 2019. I rest my case. Yes.
What was Jason Tatum's stats that series? Oh, never mind.
Wasn't it like his third year?
It was very shambolic that
Second year.
Oh, year 2 Tatum.
Year 2 Tatum. Yeah.
Yeah. That was rough.
Whoa.
Oh.
4 and 5. I don't think it's happening either way. It's going 6 or 7.
I'm saying 5 because I feel like in 5, but 4 of these games will be very, very closely contested, and I think the defense is what will win some of those games for Minnesota.
Other way around for Dallas too if they do win.
At least one blowout in that series.
Yeah. And discount game 1 because Dallas plays like shit in every game 1 they play this playoffs.
Yeah. I can see game 1 being the blowout series, the blowout game.
When you start seeing Kyrie Tribe tweets, just know they're probably winning the next game. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
How many comebacks have Dallas had this season? That's something we got to search out for the next spot.
Yeah.
I remember the big comeback game 6 was crucial. Now I'll say my prediction. I'll say Minnesota in 7. I think we'll get just enough out of Edwards. I think we'll get just enough shooting out of Jay McDaniels here and there for a game or 2 to swing it. But I think people are generally underselling this Dallas team's chances of winning the championship as a whole.
Yeah, I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm huge on defense, athleticism. So I'm gonna go Minnesota in 6, but I will say this. Luka Doncic, he does not like certain types of people guarding him all types of ways and talking trash. If you talk trash to Luka, that's on you. a possessed Luka is a different type of Luka. No disrespect to Ant. I love Ant, but I've seen Luka.
He's probably like 80%, but like there's a decent chance he walks into like 24 and like 9.
Bro, I'm telling you guys, man, if Luka's knee is if Luka's knee is there, right? If it's there, I just can't see. I'm seeing like a mismatch for every single possession. Fucking Minnesota's just looking at each other like, what the fuck do we do?
Like he had a triple-double on one leg in Game 6, so it's like, what do you do?
It's going to be contingent upon how much they hide Luka on defense and how much Minnesota is stagnant on offense.
You don't even need to hide Luka on defense, though. Not in this series.
No, he's been pretty good on that side of the floor.
To be honest, that's also part of why I think Minnesota wins in 5. Yeah, Luka's been improved on defenses this postseason, but I think Anthony Edwards is going to hunt him. He's going to hunt him. So there will be no hiding Luka.
No, I'll say this about Edwards. I love him to death. Like he's great. There are some elements of his game where it's like, if you take advantage of it for enough times, you have a chance. Like the ball handling, if they try to take a page out of Denver's book and try to trap him with more athletic defenders than anything Denver had, and force him to pass it out, and the guys aren't hitting shots, they could be in danger.
Look out for a special guy who hasn't played in that Denver series to make a return back into there.
Maxi Kleber?
Is he coming back? I thought he was done. But if he comes back, that's a whole different series as well.
There's a chance he could. There is a chance.
I was talking about Dante Exum.
Dante Exum.
What about Exum?
I think he can make a comeback in this series.
Come back to what?
Just his size and athleticism alone is an extra ball handler out there that can
Exactly. Especially in a series like this where athleticism is a key, because especially the way that the size of the fucking T-Wolves, man, like they need that extra athleticism.
I'll say this: whoever performs better out of Jaden McDaniels and PJ Washington, that team will have the advantage.
Yep.
Who you taking? Who you taking in the 3-point contest? Jaden McDaniels or PJ Washington?
PJ.
Probably PJ.
I'll take PJ, but corner shots, man, McDaniels is like automatic from the corner.
Can you imagine if we get another series of Derrick Jones Jr. hitting like 38% from out there?
Good Lord.
Bro, that fadeaway that he hit, bro, I was like, let's be honest. Let's be real, bro.
I was like, no way.
Come on.
So like another X factor, Derek Lively.
He might give Cat like the devil.
Just off athleticism, being able to rim run sometimes, just to get some easy offense off the bench that way, and Gafford doing the same thing. Like that could be something that's going to be something we're going to go to the well with. Now, Minnesota's big. They can.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like that's the thing about Minnesota. It's like unlike the rest of the NBA, they have the size to actually match up with them niggas.
Yeah, and also playing Chet Holmgren, who's not in the paint whatsoever, versus Gobert, who's there all the time, and Cat, who can swipe with size. Now it's Reed off the bench who can come do some things. It's like you ain't getting those as often.
As a Celtics fan, if I would rather play Dallas.
I wouldn't play either one of them, to be honest with you.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if Boston wants either. I think Boston would rather play Dallas. I don't know if they want either one of these teams. I know good and darn well I don't think they want Minnesota. I definitely don't think they want that matchup.
They definitely don't. They don't, man.
They don't want that.
That sounds. If Minnesota faces Boston, that sounds like a Cat Finals MVP, bro.
Oh yeah,
A Cat Finals MVP would move so many mountains from me
personally. I'll be honest. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm weird, but I'm not going to read too much into a lot of it. I think Boston winning 64 games, having to go through what they went through, losing to LeBron young, losing to Jimmy Butler, losing to Giannis, getting beat up, like everything we've gone through, I think it's brought us to this moment, and I think maybe this is it. But I don't know. What do I know? It could be the year.
This is probably where I look at.
Tatum got past his Isaiah Thomas.
See, if there's a part of Boston where it's like, on one hand, they do too many bozo-ish things to me, and they're not having a point guard could hurt them at some point, and the fact that they just kind of sleptwalk all the way to the finals, and they're probably going to do it here.
Yeah,
that could be a detriment, and also Porzingis' health is going to be number one because they need him badly. Just to have someone that can do anything, especially with a guy his size, a guy that can get easy offense from the foul line, to stretch it, get anywhere, just dump it down to him. He can do something with it. And his athleticism as a rim protector. On the other hand, it just feels like if they don't win now, when?
True.
Got that right.
I mean, like, how much did they invest into this core already?
Again, Brown guys.
And we bringing Drew.
You guys traded away like one of the key pieces for the last couple of years. That nigga better show up.
Because Holiday, Gracie is a defensive player. Offensively, he can have those games where it's like, why are you out here?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like if that finals matchup happens, Drew Holiday is going to guard Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards very well could do to him what Jimmy Butler did to him last year.
No, it 1,000% will be Jaylen Brown. It'll be Jaylen Brown.
Oh, he'll do the same thing to him.
Yeah, I feel like this is a series that's gonna expose a couple people. I'm not going.
Anthony Edwards I'll tell you that now. He gonna get his.
Cat is the actual key to that series, though. If they do play it.
The only thing that I would be concerned about, I mean, of course they have length and size. They're a good team. They're a good team. They remind me of Boston 2022. That's exactly what they remind me of. Exactly. But the experience at some point kicks
down to the second round of beating the defending champs in Game 7. Down to that.
Like I'm telling you, like Ime Udoka, toughness, grit. You got Al Horford, you got Rob Williams banging on people, but then you play a team that's been through wars. Pause. Been through wars. Honestly, like Golden State. Looking back at like the talent, like Boston could not
win a championship.
What y'all gonna do when Minnesota pulls out that 3 big lineup?
Run scared.
No. 3 big lineup. You gotta. In my opinion, I think having guards that can run P&R, and then getting Gobert guarding either JB or JT on the perimeter will be, or Cat will be beneficial.
Which is the thing. The crazy thing about Gobert is that he's actually not like bad at the perimeter. He's quite good at it now. You just don't really want him doing it full time.
Yeah. You just want to keep JT away from niggas that are like thin and like lengthy. If you can get him on a big guy guarding him outside, he'll be all right. But Jaden McDaniels,
they have to be disciplined offensively. They can't devolve into just picking pops, just shooting threes every possession down. They can't devolve into that. It makes them too easy to guard.
Oh
shit! Vince was like, what you're gonna do is just like, okay, go ahead. Al Horford, that could hit 7 threes on us.
It's gonna be a battle if we do meet. But I'd definitely rather play Dallas. Definitely rather play Dallas.
Oh yeah, Jerry. Don't look at the year-to-year matchup. Don't look at that, man.
Who with what?
Well, against Dallas? Minnesota. Yeah, don't.
Oh, Minnesota? No, Minnesota beats us like they beat us a lot, bro.
Yeah, I just saw, man. Like, holy hell.
Yeah. It's because of Cat. Every time they play us, it's because of Cat.
No, imagine like if Finals MVP, like the potential guys, who would be the guy that you would be like on a scale of 1 to 10, where it's like, I am so happy for this dude, and then another guy on a scale of 1 to 10, where it's like, what the fuck?
As far as like they won Finals MVP.
Yeah, like, anybody left in the playoffs.
Anybody in the playoffs? Miles Turner.
Yo, a Tim Hardaway Jr. Finals MVP would move the streets, man.
Yo. Could you imagine if it's a series where it's just a slugfest and Rudy Gobert averages like 15, 12, and like 4.5 blocks? Could you imagine the game Finals MVP?
That'll be sick.
the one that put us in the bubble winning Finals MVP.
So fucking funny. People already hate Rudy Gobert as it is to the point where they just don't like acknowledge anything he does. Imagine winning a Finals MVP where it's like I got 4 Defensive Player of the Years and I got Finals MVP and a ring. Fuck y'all.
He's already a Hall of Famer, but that would put him like on some first ballot shit, and niggas would be.
Draymond would be sick.
Honestly, oh my god, he would have a better resume than Draymond.
I need it.
Honestly, like this Final Four teams, so many legacies can be like boosted or just slumped by what happens because Al Horford wins the ring, he's surefire.
He can retire like the minute of the belt.
Gobert wins the championship. He seems one of the greatest defending big men of all time, and people are comparing him, saying, "Oh, he's better than Dwight Howard for sure."
Oh right? Lord,
that'd be so nasty.
Like, let's go prime Gobert better than Dwight Howard. All right,
and then Anthony Edwards winning an MVP. That's already like he's already like elevating his game to a new level, and he's gonna get like 06 Dwayne comparisons from people for whatever reason, in the sense that he's like the best player on the team. He's young, and he's the future face of the game. And then someone like Cat would actually be pretty fascinating as MVP because he has a real shot at it if they do get that far. Because
he definitely does.
He's the guy they're going to count on to get the beat mismatches. And again, he was the face of this franchise for a number of years where they were still kind of trying to figure out who they were. And then Anthony Edwards comes along, he takes that spot, and Cat blends in, and Cat is able to alter his game to adjust it to Anthony Edwards being that new guy. And for him to come through and win the Finals MVP, because everything's been through over the last year, with his mom and everything like that, that'd be special.
I would be super proud of Cat. Like, that's one team I actually like Minnesota, like for real. So them winning it would be good for them in their franchise.
Yeah, especially since a lot of people, including myself, were talking shit about that team, like for like years, man, like years. Anthony Towns has gotten disrespect like out of everywhere.
I just got
it would be a terrible. All I can say is that whoever wins, as if it's not a Pacer, but like from Miraculous Miracle, if you're a Miami Heat fan, you might want to be hiding for a little bit because no matter whoever wins, you're cooked. The Mavs win, they're gonna bring up 2011 once again. The Celtics win, like either Jaylen Brown or JT are gonna claim it that this is their era. The T-Wolves win, who?
Jimmy
who? Like you're cooked. You're cooked.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I got some tweets stored up, bro. If we win, that junk gonna look like prophetic Nostradamus, like crazy.
What would a Derek Brown Jr. Sorry, why I said Derek Brown Jr.
Best defensive tackle in college football in the last.
Jesus.
What would a Derek Jones Jr. Finals MVP do to y'all?
I'm forgetting the season never happened.
Dunk champion and Finals MVP, bro. We're saying his legacy is greater than Aaron Gordon's.
Bro, if he wins a Finals MVP, we're just gonna like unanimously just agree that this season never happened and nothing took place.
I'm gonna say that. I just got one question before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Who does Kevin Garnett root for if it's the Timberwolves and the Celtics?
Did you see that interview?
Celtics for sure.
Bro,
I don't know.
If you didn't hate Glenn Taylor, I'd say Minnesota. No questions asked.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I feel like you would say just because of Glenn Taylor.
But it's crazy because him and McHale have Celtics and Timberwolves ties, right? Him and Kevin McHale.
Yeah, McHale's like GM for a long time.
See, that's weird. Like,
see, KG's tenure was so fascinating because they were in the wilderness for so long, and then
you said both.
He basically said, "I don't care who wins if it ends up being them."
Could you imagine if he does and flip Saunders, bro?
Oh my God, yeah.
You know what? That's why I wouldn't even mind if Minnesota won it all. That's the reason right there.
Do it for Flip.
Do it for Flip, man.
Dang, bro. It's
so weird because he was pretty much KG's coach there for pretty much his entire tenure. except for the last year or two. Then he comes back at the tail end of his career, but he can't fucking stand Glenn Taylor. Only reason he came back was because Flip mediated everything, right? He gets there, right? Flip dies 2 months in. So there you go,
bro. I don't know. It's going to be good to see how this all unfolds. As a Celtics fan, I'm very chill. I've been chill all year, bro. Honestly.
What would the Jason Tatum Finals MVP do for you, Jerry?
it'd be very validating.
Jason Tatum Finals MVP would mean that he surpasses Paul George.
You were dropping that. You were dropping that picture that you like to drop when he was a job, bro. I can already see it.
I'm saying you can't say that he's beneath Paul George or Tracy McGrady. He's over Paul George and Tracy McGrady. He's at Paul Pierce.
Hold on. Great don't have no time. He's still beneath Tracy McGrady.
Man, can you get out the first round?
That is true.
No, I mean the conversations will get really weird if Jason Tatum wins a championship and Finals MVP. That's all I'm telling you. It'll get
The
really
numbers
weird.
have been there. He's always a 27-game guy, first team. Defense has been improved. Just need the championship.
We say we'll say he surpasses Jimmy Butler.
Okay. I mean, I hope he would.
Jimmy right now is just Jimmy.
But let's be real. For the most part, Jimmy has completely outperformed Jason Tatum every time they match up in the playoffs. Let's be real. He's completely outperformed him. Can we really say that?
Yes. That. I think that's more or less true. I think more, if anything, it shows that Jimmy's game elevates, and Tatum had. I mean, that's his Pistons. The Heat are their Pistons.
Yeah.
It's their Pistons. I wish they would actually face the actual version of the Heat to actually get off of that hump, but that's a huge psychological barrier off of them. So
Yeah.
I mean for Jalen, yeah, for Jason Tatum to win that, man, that would be years of just validation, and that would really help them get that monkey off their back.
What does it say, Marcus?
So he's digging in his ass instead of contesting.
Yeah. It's really weird. That's all I'm gonna say. If that does happen, I'll be more happy for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. What about Jaylen Brown? What would a Jaylen Brown Finals MVP do?
That's what I want to know. MVP in NBA history.
That's what I want to know. Is that gonna piss off a couple people on the Celtics?
It would get very nasty and for some people in the league if he won a Finals MVP.
Some Celtics fans, there will be a civil war between Celtics fans. I'll tell you that much.
There already is with the Jays, man. It never changes.
What are we doing?
It is.
But in light with the way the conference finals has been going, and with the way NBA basketball has been going last couple of years, man, the dynasty era is over for right now. We got new champs left and right. There's more competitiveness. You're a move away in the Eastern Conference from being a real contender. Look at the Knicks. They made one move and all of a sudden, boom, they're a 51 team currently right now. The Western Conference has a lot of young teams that can explode. And with the second apron being a thing now with new CBA, teams break up quicker and it's more a thing. Look at the Pacers, for example. I'll talk about them for a second. The way their contracts are set up, it's rarely one major guy that has a major deal with Halliburton is Max. Shaq was making a pretty good chunk of money himself, right? After that, it's just guys on some really cheap deals. And it's going to be in Oklahoma City. It's going to be the guy that gets the big money. But right now, it's a lot of short, cheap rookie contracts. It's a little NFL-ish with the way some of these contracts are right now. And that you're relying on cheap talent. You're going to have to choose between guys now. These big-time teams ain't going to stay there that long. Minnesota has an expiration date. Denver in a couple years is going to have an expiration date.
That's sick, though. Man.
It's so crazy. The only constant is the Celtics right now.
You're gonna see a lot of teams. I feel like those higher end veteran teams, if they do end up winning a chip,
they're gonna really consider themselves just the same way that the Lakers have, like these past couple of years of, was it worth it? Was it worth going all in and winning one ring just for us to be in financial hell and NBA purgatory these last couple of years?
Yeah, ownership is going to be key with a lot of these franchises. Is your ownership willing to spend money to go into the apron? Is your owner willing to keep this team together? Is your owner willing to, swing money for a certain guy? Is this guy willing to give a contract to someone who's coming up soon? Or are they going to try to cheap out and get cheap assets and try to, develop young guys that way and then keep the cycle moving? Like, what is it going to be? Like, in Minnesota, their ownership's going to be key. If they're willing to spend, they'll be fine. If not, well, they'll be a second round team at best.
Shoot, man. Honestly, my final thought would be Los Angeles Clippers.
It's over.
It's over. You got to blow it up. It's over.
I know injuries hurt you guys a lot, but it's not worth it to be, okay, we'll just run it back because of that. No.
Blow it up. Blow it up.
Poof.
It's over. And then Kawhi goes to Sacramento.
It's so funny.
No, Kawhi goes to Golden State.
Okay, man.
The old
Okay.
team getting even older.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
All right, man. My final thoughts is that the New York Knicks better not look at this offseason or this postseason run and say we have enough. Hell no, nigga.
No,
You guys better keep on improving that team, man.
No, I need
They're gonna be like the Hawks.
Darnell.
Off personally.
I need the New York Knicks to do that.
Of course you do. You see, like, with the Knicks, I do think they had enough to make this a competitive series in the conference finals. I did. Problem is, they all ended up in the hospital. But at the same time, like I said, with the Clippers, you can't do a whole let's just run it back thing. No, you can add to this team. You can see add stretch for if you can. You could see if the whole Julius Randle thing will work out because I think he would have legitimately helped this team. You got to worry about: do you want to pay Anunoby? Do you want to pay Hartenstein? You got to find some depth behind these dudes because you can't sit out there and be like, "Well, we have nothing else to play everybody 15 minutes." Not, can't do it. Now, in fairness, Hart isn't usually a starter, so that's just something that they have no choice with. But they got to keep, man, and do not go crazy and do the whole same old Knicks star hunting routine. No. Make it make sense. You have only one bad contract coming up, and that's Randall. And this ain't a bad contract; it's just an expensive one. And Brunson's pretty much on like the greatest contract in the NBA history right now, damn near, other than Steph Curry's. Before he signed his big supermax, like he signed for $100 million, right? He said he's on track to sign for like 170 something, which is like crazy for a guy of the stature.
That's funny that we had a whole podcast at the beginning of the season talking about that contract, and then dude ends up doing what he did.
Less than 40 mil, man. Less than 40 mil. That's the rumored contract for Jalen fucking Brunson. He's giving you all NBA first team level production, and he's gonna be less than 40 mil.
That's
Even
insane.
Julius Randle's contract, we're saying is expensive. Not really. He's getting only paid 30 mil. That's
It's
Tobias
relative
Harris
to-
money. That's
Yeah,
Tyler
it's
Hero
relative-
money.
Quick question. Has Jalen Brunson surpassed Steph Curry?
No.
Hell no.
No.
Somebody, I forgot who it was talking about that, but it was like, oh, he's been better than Steph. Like,
Yeah, okay, nigga. Tell the Knicks who they rather have.
Yeah. By the way, I go a step further. Why don't you tell Knicks fans why they're pissed off about that whole draft that Steph was in? That's what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
They passed on him.
thank you, Father God.
Hey man, Minnesota passed on him twice. That's even worse.
That is true.
You know what? It ended up working out for them.
It did.
In a roundabout way, yes. You took Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn.
Johnny Flynn to Anthony Edwards. All roads lead somewhere.
David Kahn knew what he was doing.
Well, with that being said, let's let everybody know. Look, this has been a great episode of Indisputable Evidence. We have enjoyed being back with y'all. We should be back again next week, but let everybody know where they can follow y'all, burner accounts included.
Yes, sir, man. So you can follow me on Twitter at JBreezyII. Follow my Instagram at JLamar_II. And that's it pretty much, man.
So you know where I'm at Marcus Davis 904 on Twitter. That's my regular account, and my burner account is, listen real close,
That's sick.
Real shit, my man. Real shit. You can follow me on Not Too Famous on all social media platforms. No burner for me.
so he don't need no burner. It's all killing no filler on the main.
No
His burner's too famous.
Apparently, a fan reunion is coming up
Who we introducing?
where apparently
Drake.
entertainment will be brought, but it's strictly Marcus. I ain't part of that.
Hey man, I
Well,
got something lined up.
So is Marcus the Paul Pierce of the group?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey man, y'all know my track record. It ain't a wrong statement.
No, man, you can follow me on Twitter at AceWave1, on Instagram at Ace_Wave1, please. You can follow the podcast account on Twitter at Indie Evidence, Instagram, Indisputable Evidence, also on TikTok and Twitch at Indisputable Evidence. And with that, we're going to leave y'all as we always do.
Ooh.
So, stay safe. Y'all take care of your loved ones out there. Tell them you love them every single day. Take care of your chicken. Take care of your mentals. Wash your face. Wash your hands. Marcus.
It's been a long time since I said this, but anyway, while late at night or in the morning, whatever it is, with soap in hot, fresh water, with a loofah, with a washcloth, whatever it is that you do, I implore you, heed my words carefully. I implore you all to wash your nasty, dirty, stinking rabbit asses and wear socks and shoes to the movies, in any and all public settings. Thank you very much.
For the love of God, please do that.
Hi. Monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a freak throw. Man down, call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nella nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? They in the street and hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton.
Hey.
Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching.
Sometimes you gotta show out to show niggas. Certified boogeyman. I'm a show nigga.
Hey man, salute to Kendrick Lamar for removing copyright crap and for allowing us to not get charged with copyright infringement.
And
one more thing, by the way, for any GMs that are looking to swing a trade for Josh Giddey, hide your little sisters from him
and your nieces.
and your daughters.
Definitely hide your daughters.
You got a weird case. Why is he around?
But with that, we out. God bless y'all. Y'all have a blessed week. The rest of your week. We'll see y'all next week. Good night.
Yee.